Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Here we are with... Oh, wait, one second. Let me see if I can find... Oh, there we go. Here, it's going to be a little bit... There's the webcam. Okay, we're good. Here we are with McGravy. Hello, McGravy. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you? How's everybody?
Well, hopefully they're all doing good. We are having the Houston Outlaws versus San Francisco Shock. I'm just going to do my prediction right away right now. Shock 3-0 just because, you know, gotta go with Shock, right?
I mean, I'm right there with you.
Right, really? Just 3-0?
3-0. 3-0 for sure.
That's
I like Houston. I think Houston's a relatively good team, but I mean, it's a shock, man. I mean, we saw them play last time, right?
Oh yeah. It's
just a shock, you know?
Yeah. They gave up one map to Gladiators, but I mean, I think they were just having a good time. You know, they have first map kind of start off with a loss, so Gladiators feel like they could win that, and then
just warm up, you know?
And then they just 3-0 them with Violet on DPS.
With Violet on DPS.
Which was amazing. I love that. All right, I'll try to adjust the webcam a little bit so it can fix on that. It just does a weird thing sometimes. But yeah, we are, we'll be going to the match here in a second. Once again, to the chat, sorry if there's any the issues with the webcam during that. It just happens sometimes. It's just what we use with the thing. It's because of the site we use for it. But yeah, we're like literally waiting on the match to start here. Looks like the casters are starting to talk. Well, I'll get the volume going here in a second. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday, right? I think it's
Sunday. Yeah. Is it Sunday?
Is it Sunday? I think it's Sunday. I think it is Sunday.
I think it is Sunday.
So
it's hard to keep track nowadays.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. But it looks like we're about to be going to the match here in a second, which I'm looking forward to. So I didn't get to catch a ton of the Outlaws match last time because I was getting everything ready for the Gladiators match. What was the comp that Outlaws was running the most on most maps? Was it a lot of like, were they running a lot of like double bubble, or were they running rush?
I think they played a little bit of everything. I think they're kind of 50-50 on what they played.
Okay.
But they've been pretty good on both the rush and the double bubble. So it'd be interesting to see which style they end up going for.
Okay. Would you do me one favor on the webcam? We're gonna try one thing. I'm gonna just quickly go to like the start screen, and then you're just gonna give me another link for it and see if we can get it to work that way, because I think that works last time. We'll try it out. See how it goes. Be perfect. All right, 1 second. Oh, I hope everybody here likes the clock interface we have there for the timer. It's pretty perfect. Yeah, once you get the new link, just send it over to me, and I'll see if that works.
Okay.
The clock interface is great here. It's one of the best intros we have instead of having a timer. The match is almost time to start, chat. We'll have it up in a second once we get this link. Hope everybody's enjoying their day. Almost time. Looks like... Oh, okay, it's going to be a good lineup. There we go. Perfect. Thank you for that link. Copy link. And then we're going to go to the scene. And we're going to see if we can fix it with this right here. Ready? Here we go. I'm ready.
Big reveal.
Here we go. All right, we'll see what happens. It's going to work initially, but we're going to go from there. All right. I'm going to put this... Oh, can you put the sound on it too? So we don't have the double sound on it?
Yep.
We're good to go. We're good to go. All right. I'm going to put the volume on for the match now. Looks like they're going to be close to starting the match here. We have some of the lineups right now, which is going to be good. You want to... Oh, wait. Actually, we're on the shock lineup now. Okay. Let me head over to the main scene. Here we go.
Tayo's playing. Tayo? Tayo's played a pug.
Okay, let's go. So, although I have the webcams in the roster, we have Tayo, Nero, Super, Choi, Violet, and FD God.
Tayo's got to be on the McCree, right? It's got to be the Tayo Cree.
Man, they have quite the roster where they can have multiple people just pop off on McCree.
Yeah, I mean, they've got like 4 or 5 McCree players on this roster.
Yeah. I'm ready. Looks like everybody's getting warmed up, ready to go.
I'm actually super excited to see Tayo play.
Oh, me too. He's gonna pop off. It's gonna be a good matchup. I wonder what maps first. Do they usually start with Koth?
It's always Koth.
Okay.
But I don't think they list anywhere like what the actual map pool will be until the match starts.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, true. That makes sense. Should be a good matchup here. Because one thing about Houston is they took their roster from last year and just made it something completely different. Got a bunch of
I was say they basically nuked it. Yeah.
Bunch of new talent and ooh, okay. This will be an interesting first map.
Li Jiang. Good map.
Very good map. A map that I'm pretty bad at, surprisingly. I don't know why. Always have been.
Just like a hard rush map, especially in comp. Everybody just always plays those weird, wacky Junkrat, Symmetra, Mei, Doomfist.
Oh yeah, when I have to play against the Junkrat sim on Control Center, I just feed the whole time. Right, here we go. I'm ready.
What's your timer, by the way, just to make sure?
Oh, did I do this with the? I don't know if I put the casters on. I think I might have not had the casters on for a second.
You can just refresh and do it with the casters, so we can sync up real quick.
Yeah. Oh, give me 1 second. Actually, no, we're gonna start off the first map without the casters on. I don't know why it didn't work with that. So I'm casting. I am casting the match now, right now. Get ready. Here we go. We're trying something new. What are you at on the timer?
Casting? I'm at 15.
Okay,
14,
I'm pretty much
13.
exactly there. We're good.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'm the caster right now, and then I'll have the casters on for before. I actually did go with the casters too, but I don't know. Hey, you know what? Let's go. I'm ready. Looks like they're going to be doing the normal, both teams will be having sim
silly.
Here.
Silly.
Yep. And there it is. Looks like they did. Looks like Shock did stay on sim though, and Outlaws did not. They decided to go with McCree and Doomfist, while we have Junkrat and sim for Shock.
They have already completely flipped the map.
Yep.
So they're on the opposite sides of the map already.
Yep. And we have Hydration on Doom, which he's a very good Doomfist. It looks like already Outlaws were able to get the first pick there. So that's actually that's a good start for the Outlaws. They got to be happy with that.
That was such a clean start.
Oh,
really
100%. It was Happy's a very good player too.
Happy's nuts.
Oh
He's really good at the hit scan.
Oh, Happy's Widow. Happy's just a very, very good player. So it doesn't look like Outlaws are able to take the first fight there, but Shock was able to build up some else, and it looks like they already did switch off of Sim. So now they're going to go to the Junkrat McCree comp, while they're still on the McCree Doofus comp.
Big shatter
Wow.
from Chago. Oh
that was huge. Big slam is what we go with there.
Big slam!
Yeah, big slam! Gotta keep it going, But yeah, no, this is so far Shock, starting off a little bit, slow on Koth, which we saw last time too. So it's not like just give him a little time to warm up. And Control Center is one of those maps where losing the first team fight can make it super difficult to retake without having to pretty much use your whole ult pool. Which usually what ends up happening is the team will
just the nature of the game mode, really.
Exactly. There's some maps where you can kind of get away with it, where it's easier to get like an early pick. But Control Center is one of those maps where you pretty much have to brawl in like these small areas, and then you just end up getting rolled. And as you can see, Shock is basically just stacking up all their ults. Obviously, they used Window, but I mean, you get Window on cooldown nowadays, so.
Shock's got a better chance on retaking now that they have Tire, though. It's a lot easier to walk in when you have a big, 600 damage Tire rolling through the map, so you have to use this Tire.
Yep. And it looks like the whole play here, and I'm assuming with the Doom comp, is just to basically get Lamp out.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then you just go in, you get a free kill.
Nero gets a kill through the beat, though, on the Hydration there,
That's
so that was pretty big with the Tire.
And they were able to
trade.
trade.
He got knocked up with the concussion mine to kill Choi on the baby Diva.
Oh, no!
Oh, poor Choi.
No.
Why would you do that, Nero?
Well, that's just an unlucky. That's an unlucky. And it looks like unless
big slam.
Big slam.
Really big slam.
There we go. That's what they needed right there. But
and he dodges the shatter. Oh, that's an MTD. Oh, that's an MTD.
And there we go. They turned it around at 99 to 0. Which the good news is they were able to save a couple of ults, which is going to be pretty good because sometimes you just end up using all 6 right there. So that was pretty good. But it actually looks like the fight is still going on.
Top guy in there. Good kill on the Happy though.
Yep. And they'll take that too. I mean, obviously they don't want to use the high noon there, but they won the team fight and now.
Well, as a fellow Diva player, I wonder how Choi is going to use Diva Bomb here. I always struggle on this map. It's so close quarters. It's kind of hard to use it here in like an aggressive way. I wonder how he's going to use his bomb here.
It's tough to say. I mean, there used to be the old strategy where you use your Diva Bomb to get your DM back. So Choi might just use a bunch of DM, and then just use it and come back.
Bomb, yeah.
Especially with Lamp now, you have a better possibility of having. Oh my!
No!
That was
dirty. That's just dirty.
Hydration with the double kill right there. Oh wow! I did not expect that. Well, apparently it didn't matter what Choi did with the Diva Bomb because, wow.
Doomfist differential.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna quickly just switch over to the casters very quickly so I can get that rolling. Take me 2 seconds. There we go. That was weird that it did that for me. Let me see where I'm at when I do this too.
Okay.
And we'll be good to go. Hope everybody's enjoying. Welcome everybody. Obviously here with McGravy, we're
both supports.
There we go. So I am at.
Let
me just get the quality up
to the choke.
There we go.
Huge. There's
gonna take a second on the quality, but I'm at
fight after that.
I can't tell until the quality goes to 1080p.
No support.
I have no idea.
Now
16 seconds
forward in Lijiang Tower.
I'm
This
at
is why I
12,
thought you'd see
11.
If you pause for 2 seconds, then we'll be good to go at that point.
The first time I saw Hydration was on this very map playing for Team Counterlogic Gaming back in God, 2017.
And there we go.
maybe?
Casters
In
are. There we
contenders
go.
in
And
NA,
we're good.
He absolutely dominated on that pick. Unfortunately, we're not going to get it.
Professionals.
Yeah, we're good.
We'll get it later on here, but it looks like the May.
That was my bad. All right, here we go.
Piggy's on the Sigma instead of the Diva.
Really? That's a surprise.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this card
I've
before.
seen a lot more
Really?
Sigma than I anticipated.
The difference here is how you're going to have Piggy
Tyler's
playing
dead
Sigma.
first,
He's
again.
actually going to be
Unlucky.
leading Tile
That is
first.
not ideal.
Yeah,
not feeling the Symmetra.
So my question is
No
why,
great
why,
mobility
why,
with the teleporter
and
to
I
the point. The
maybe I don't
turret's
understand it,
annoying,
but why Ryan
to deal
Sigma?
with.
What would be like maybe the
But just
double,
the amount
the
of
two
damage
shields,
that
or?
Symmetra can put on the shield, how strong
I mean, I guess
she
if
can
you
get,
play like slower,
especially when,
kind of like a slower style of rush, you just have more damage because of the orbs and the ult's also a big deal. I mean, Flux and Rush is insanely good considering everybody's stacked up all the time.
Okay, that makes sense then. I was just wondering. I don't mind playing Sigma, but I definitely would prefer.
I'd much prefer to play Diva.
Yeah, exactly.
Super might have got caught off there.
I'm right there with you.
I
will play Sigma if I have to.
Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
It has
yeah.
to be an immortality kill to keep
And
Fire
chat's let me know to
standing
turn the
so
casters
vulnerable
down.
for
I'll do that
Symmetra
right
if
after
she's playing in
this.
the front line. But
Give me 1
that's where
minute,
she needs to be
and
to be
I will
most
get that
effective.
fixed.
Tricoven is desuited now, and Happy is charged up. Again,
Here,
he's
I'll
not
adjust
biting
the
off all
volume
he can
right
chew
now.
right now. Happy to work away on super
See, like
shield
Picky
and
already
push
has ult.
into the
He
back.
was that?
Okay,
All right,
it's going to be
Flux.
Gravitic Flux now. A few shock plays up in the air, but it's going to be Tyre.
was so early
Nero
on the
gonna be
Flux.
using
Wow.
that ice block.
Almost
It's
as
not
fast as
enough.
Window.
Happy's causing so many
That is
problems right
that's
now.
nuts.
No, that's really hard to
San
do.
Francisco
It was a really good first team fight because once they got that
removal,
first pick,
but Happy's
Sigma,
happy to provide
whenever you're in
anyway.
a 6v5 with Sigma, it's so easy to farm because at that
Yeah.
point,
Early
the fight's
on.
almost
They can't do
over.
anything. They're just
Yep.
standing there eating left clicks.
Yep, absolutely.
Really, it was-
And chat, let me know about the casters there. I turned it down a little bit. Let me know if that's good volume. We'll get it fixed. It's weird because I turned it down where it was last time, but it was louder this time.
Now, he called it
Just
a
let me know.
miracle, though. It doesn't look
Stream
like a
volumes are always
miracle. It just
confusing.
looks
Yeah.
I feel like I
fundamental
feel like I changed
right now.
nothing, and it's like, oh, it's too loud this time.
They
Like, what?
made you it's
Absolutely.
stronger if they would
Yeah, so
they
far,
would
you know,
save it from
Outlaws are
this
playing this
point.
pretty
No
well.
hydration has to have it.
Yeah, I'll also play solid.
FD God. Not
This
playing
is an important fight, though. It does look like they have a lot of ults coming out of shot here, too.
It's
kinda hard to tell what's going on.
Yep, there's a lot
Okay, both
happening.
teams are beating.
That was a really good counter beat by FD God, though. Was able to wait enough time so that they have the beat advantage going in now.
Tyle's got the better wall.
Yeah, there's a lot
Hydration gets the
happening.
big. Aha, there's so much going on. Pretty big booster from Hydration gets both tanks.
Looks like Outlaws will take that fight. The good news for Shock there, at least, is that they were able to flip the point.
That's
Exactly.
crucial.
Yep.
If they had lost that without capping the point, the game would just be over right now. So
Beautiful play from the Outlaws there. FD
Choi
has
feels
a
like the
huge
Sigma is
sound
strong and
barrier
he switches
because
over to the
Chandra
Sigma.
not able to push
Okay,
all the way
wow.
forward and
I wonder if
get
that was
kills
planned or
off.
they were just kind of like, you know what,
Sound
we
barrier
definitely need to make this switch.
counter
Usually that's like,
Outlaws
that feels
because they
strong,
assume
let
it's
me
gonna
try
be
that.
coming in
Yeah,
after the
yeah.
rush.
Which, I mean, I don't mind that switch.
Splits off the tanks with
You know,
the
it looks like they kind of...
You're fine.
Actually, it looks like they're just mirroring the comp in general now. Yeah, it's just complete mirror comp now.
Piggy has another Flux, whereas Violet just has the window.
We're going to have to see what happens in this.
Violet gets a lamp off, as per usual. That's Violet.
Yeah, really good lamp, too. Like, you can't kill the lamp, your team's able to survive that. Shock played that really smart right there. They didn't overcommit to anything, they just waited and waited. Wow.
This gives time for the Outlaws to regroup, to breathe. Hydration comes out of the ice block.
Window from Crimzo. I mean, Houston has ults. Good beat, though.
That was really, really, really well played.
But Hydration is traded out now in the 5v5.
Such a close
Ooh,
fight.
big shatter,
Oh
though.
my.
Oh, that's a big shatter.
Oh my.
Shatter, super
Matthew DeLisi on his back.
And San Francisco
Oh my.
shell-shocked. And you can see it on
and a quick map one for Houston Outlaws. Well, both our Preds are already destroyed.
Yep, listen.
That was quick.
3-0 was the safe bet. We went with 3-0. But if we do look at the last match, Shock did lose the first map to Gladiators on Koth. So maybe this time around, and we don't know how practice is going, but maybe right now Koth just isn't their strongest map, or maybe they need to warm up a little bit.
Koth is just a warm up, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
The appetizer.
Now we're gonna see what next map is. So that was
main course.
Yeah, that was really. I gotta give it to Outlaws there. That was really well played. It looked like they came in with a plan, and they played that the way they wanted to. It seemed like for Control Center, their plan was to have Hydration just engage as Doomfist over and over again, and had some major picks. In fact, Hydration pretty much won them that first.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think they got the. I think he got the first pick on Tayo on both of the Koth rounds there. So
yeah. So I imagine, from what I'm seeing, it looks like they're going to be doing a sub on both teams.
Yeah, I see the backdrop of Tayo being moved.
Yep. So I think they're going to be subbing out a DPS player on each team. And we don't really know what else is going to be happening across the board. But that was really, really. I got to give it to Outlaws. That was really well played. Like seriously, that was really well played.
Yeah. Credit where credit's due. Houston's been playing good.
Yep.
The Overwatch League is
you know what? Good news is we got everything set now, so we're not, all scuffed here with the setup. Or maybe we are. I don't even know, but I think the volume's good now. And now we just kind of wait until the next match. But one thing I've noticed is they've been going to each match a little bit quicker now. Unless I'm imagining that, but it feels like you're getting kind of into the games pretty quickly. Kind of going from
No, I think they made a conscious effort this year to make the games quicker. Because they felt like the broadcast dragged on a little bit.
Yeah. So that's good. I'm just excited to have OWL back, and now I'm cheering for a team, obviously, because I'm streaming for Shock. So it's like, let's go. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice to have even though I'm not playing this year, it's nice to have for me, it's nice this year to kind of have no biases, kind of be even field. But it's nice to have a team to actively root. The second point can be tough because it's all about that high ground control.
The high ground is brutal because it covers pretty much the entire point.
Yep.
The official refreshment of
this is a pretty It's a pretty double bubble favorable map because of that set high ground, especially on first and second. So I'd be interested to see what Houston plays here. But I assume if Shock is keeping Super and they'll be playing the Rush, so I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean if they bring Smurf in, obviously then you would see the double bubble guaranteed.
Yep.
Which is looking at Shock to have those main tanks in your team to be able to have a meta where you have multiple tank lines. It's like, oh well, we'll just put Super on Ryan and Rush, and obviously if we need to run Rush and change up our comp, Smurf can play Ryan, but and Super can also play Winston. It's like having that type of just versatility on a team must be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Shock's known for just having just ridiculous players on the bench. I mean, they have Twilight. Literally top 5 Flux support sitting on the bench for the majority of the season, so that's crazy.
It's all good because they have Violet on DPS when they want to bring Twilight in.
Yep.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Which is awesome.
Exclamation point drops or exclamation point tokens in the Overwatch League chat. Stop it. Get some help.
Oh yeah, they're definitely gonna spam drops the whole time.
Overwatch League perks by T-Mobile
Drops
right now. So don't blow it. I'm Matt, Mr. X.
No matter how much you tell them it does nothing, people will still do it.
Yep. Oh, 100%. It's good that they're having fun with that, though. They're recognizing the actual meme.
I really like the direction the league's headed this year, where they're kind of loosening up a little bit, kind of running with memes, not kind of being so against them. I really enjoy it.
Which is good. I think that's going to be really good to be able to have that in the league.
I mean, that's internet culture, so I'm glad they're kind of
they're having fun.
Not trying to. Yeah, I agree.
Maybe you should be spamming some sort of associated copy pasta to help San Francisco.
Hope everybody is having a great day today. Obviously, the watch parties. We're super excited to have them here. If you like obviously if you haven't yet, make sure to sub to the Shock YouTube. Follow the Shock Twitter.
Yeah, I think they probably could use that guy right now.
At SF Shock on Twitter. It's worth it. We're gonna be doing the watch parties every Shock match during the regular season. I don't think during playoffs, but I think during the regular season we'll be doing every single Shock match, which I think is I don't even know how many matches this is. It's like 17 matches or something. I don't know how many.
It's definitely not as much as previous seasons. I feel like it's definitely shorter this year. I'd say 18, 16, something.
Yeah,
somewhere
that would make sense. So that would be fun.
They are trying to fast track themselves onto that top 10 right now. San Francisco.
So Super still in, but they have Striker in for Tayo, and I think Dante came in for Hydration.
That makes sense.
So Super's in, just, you know, it's Super. They're probably going to play a lot of rush here.
Oh, I just realized that it was Violet's birthday recently, too.
Yeah, it was Violet's birthday yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. A lot of Shock birthdays during this month, I noticed. I feel like every day they're doing a new, there's a new video. They're like, oh, here's another birthday cake.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it must be nice to get it done in 1 month, you know?
Yeah. They're like, oh, this is
easy. Birthday month. Be prepared.
They just have the cakes in the fridge already, just ready to go.
Yeah.
Such a crazy stat, though,
and it looks like we have Striker in now.
Yep.
So that's pretty much the. It looks like the one change they made, and then obviously we now have Dante in on Outlaws. Which that's really cool. They're able to, like, once again, these teams have like depth to them. They're able to make these rotations out where, you know, they brought in Hydration to play Doomfist on that map, popped off, and they win a map. To have that is awesome. And then obviously you bring Striker in, and Striker's just very, very good.
That was my question for, like, Houston, was like, they have 5 DPS players on the roster. I was just curious how they were going to use those players.
Absolutely.
They seem like they have a pretty good system, so.
You know, in the end, it's going to come down to team chemistry. If everybody there is a part of, you know, what they want to do and understand that on some maps, you know, this player is going to be better there, they're going to pop off. And I think that's where Houston's at now. They're like, you know what? We have these players. Let's use them on certain maps. And as long as everybody buys into the team,
buying in is the most, it's the most crucial part. Is everybody being with the system and buying in.
It can be tough to do that. Sometimes you can have, you know, rosters with all the talent, and they won't do as well as the team that has talent. A little bit less of the, you know, you wouldn't put them as like the top players in the world, but they're still really good because they are just, the chemistry's there, and they're able to just pop off.
Yep.
Heroes really
Agreed.
shine.
Here we go.
We'll see what we
Blizzard
get
World.
San Francisco Shock, because they appear to be starting on the attack.
Excited to see it.
They looked.
Me too.
I'm curious what Houston's going to play. Now they have Dante in. I feel like whenever they have Dante in, they play less of the rush, but they still can play. I think I've seen Dante on the May. I'm just curious what they will play.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
In map number 1.
Dante has a
reason as well.
I feel like Dante's hero pool keeps getting deeper and deeper too.
Is because
so,
if you take that point A
like,
and then win that,
I'm curious to see what he ends up going with. I wouldn't doubt to see him on.
You get control.
Well, I said it, and they immediately rolled out with Dante on the May.
There you go.
Well, there it is.
Especially where the defender.
And it looks like I think
Shock
Shock is. I don't know what they're going to go with. They're obviously going to change their comp when it starts. Or if they commit to that comp, then. Okay.
The Shock have some time to make some
I wouldn't be
changes, so
surprised
that's
after
what we
map 1 where Choi is like, man, Sigma felt really good. Can we play Sigma?
This is
honestly, that's
from the Outlaws.
You know, even though obviously I do it in ranked, sometimes I have that too. I'll have a really good Junker Town on Sigma, and I'm like, I'm going to play Sigma going into.
I'm Sigma now.
Yeah, I'm going to play Sigma on King's Row, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going Zarya now, or Diva. After one team fight. Yeah, I don't know what they're running here. They're obviously going to change heroes now.
Okay, looks like it's going to be a rush.
Yeah, this is going to be a rush comp.
Super jumps up the scout. This looks very standard.
Yeah,
very
so yeah, obviously that's a good play. They just jump up to scout, see what they have. They can make a quick hero swap right away rather than go and find out. Because it takes what?
Informed decision,
It takes what, 15 seconds to be able to find out just by hitting tab.
Yeah.
So it's worth doing that.
Super's one of the best Reinhardts in the league.
Set up on high ground here. Obviously, it's going to be about just really good May walls across the board. Pretty much what it comes down to. Really good May walls. Lamp usage.
Most of people in North America
wow.
Good May wall from Nero there to stop the aggression from Houston. Peggy gets frozen for a quick VMAC.
Yeah, what Shock did there too was really smart. Already has
really good window, really fast, really good window on the off angle. Forces Lamp. Dante dies for it.
That was really well played.
I mean, that was just perfect.
So what Shock did there, and what a lot of teams do, or a lot of people do in general, is you kind of like see Houston on the high ground there, and you kind of like, oh, what do we do? Do we poke them? Do we stay here? Do we take a battle? They just speed boost and like, hey, you know,
we're going to point, do something about it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, come and make a play on us. But once they speed boost to get that distance, then their play's already broken. And it's going to either be they're going to match on the point, or you know, you're going to see what happens there, where one of them gets caught out and you just get the fight.
Yeah, Shock's had all the tempo there.
Yep.
Getting control of this.
Which we saw in Eichenwald against Gladiators, they did the exact same thing. They controlled the tempo. They constantly made the first plays, and when they played defensive, they were doing it in the right spots.
Maintain this high ground control when FD God is on the prowl. He'll just deny the high ground. He'll not
Houston does have also. They have high noon, so they go up high noon to kind of buy space here to start. And then I'll assume they're trying to find. Oh, Violet gets caught on the side. Got split with the high noon.
That was a really good call. Whoever was able to see Violet there, that was a really good call.
Yep.
I think Shock is just going to stay on point. They might go for a play here. I don't think they will. Okay, the high noon.
They want to buy as much time as possible.
Yeah.
Wow, they're going in for it. Nero commits Blizzard. Freezes the Rhine.
Surprise.
Wait, they're actually... Dante's 1 HP. Wow, it's working.
That was
a out of Juvie in a 3v5.
That was a really good play.
That is the marking of a top team, and not everyone here's a Shock fan, so I think you guys know how great the Shock are, but that is like excellence exemplified right there. Like, they were not scared to commit ult in a 3v6, and they won the fight because of it.
That was really
Ultimates are better than... Ultimates are more important than how many people you have alive, let's be real.
And then they might have saw a cooldown they like, too. They might have been like, oh, they use Lamp, let's go in and use that. I didn't see if they used Lamp or not, but that was a really good play.
Good Maywall from there from Dante to kind of stop Shock from taking space.
It looks like Choi's actually pushing the cart, though, so they're going to have to force... Yeah, I was going to say, it's going to be a fight without Piggy right now.
Really good window. It's just such a good spot for it, because now they can shoot it from the high ground.
Absolutely.
Forces bomb out early. That's a good bomb from Choi. Forces out Lamp. Ice block from Dante.
Choi does go down, though.
Yep, Choi does die.
It looks like...
Okay, good counter shatter from Super.
Let's go!
Both tanks are low on Houston side, but I don't know if there's much that Shock can do here. They have no ults, no supports.
I don't think they commit any else here. They lost BAP, and the spawns are too close. Oh, Striker went for the high noon, but yeah. They were too close to spawn to go for that at that point.
It's a lot tougher to make those kind of big down number plays when the spawns are so close.
Oh, absolutely. Because at that point, once you know the spawns are that close, you can just be like, hey, you know, play smart on point, ice block on point if you need to, use wall. So.
Okay, so Shock wants the high ground, but it'll be interesting seeing that Crimson has window, how Crimson will use window here to deny it.
I imagine they'll use it early at some point to try to build up the rest of, or actually, they're going to mail on Dante, so they'll be fine. I imagine they'll use it soon. There we go. Really good wall up by Nero.
Piggy's doing a good job from Houston from staying in suit and not getting frozen because he knows that Nero wants to drop a Blizzard really early.
Yep.
So he's keeping his distance, making sure he has that Matrix up for when he wants to ult.
One thing impressive there too, by the way, is, and you know this, whenever a team falls off the high ground, how you can always have like a player or two out of position, Shock all dropped out of high ground and all end up being together there perfectly.
Yep. Django dies early.
Yep. Which at this point...
Oh, really good E from Choi, though, through the wall.
One thing about Choi is Choi's DM zone. We'll see how this fight goes. I'll talk about it after.
Oh? It's close.
This is so close, I don't know.
Already back in spawn. Violet's down, though. Super can't do anything. He has no heals. Hopefully he can sneak his way through Arcade and find his way back to Violet, but...
Wow. These are close fights.
These are really close. Happy's now on the Widow. I assume he did that to come back from spawn and have a better angle.
Yep. One thing that Choi does really good with DM is Choi will, whenever Choi knows someone's going to be coming with like an ultimate, Choi will always like put himself in a situation to be like angled for the DM. So rather than be like behind Ryan Shield and trying to DM everything, he'll always be on the side. And it's one of the few DVs that does that, but it's so good every single time. Always is able to eat ultimates because of that.
I always tell people whenever I do my streams, like, simple, very, you guys ask about ults, very simple, easy way to eat ults, just play out of line of sight of the person that's ulting. Simple as that. Like, if they can't see you, they can't see your Matrix, pretty much.
Exactly, and Choi always does
with a big pick on Nero.
Big slam still. Like, maybe they'll turn this fight around, though, because of that shatter. They got the cooldowns out early, and they're able to keep the high ground.
Again,
oh my.
We got two.
But Striker does trade on Happy. Oh, it's such a close fight.
Choi's out of suit. He poops out a bomb, though.
They might be able to actually...
That's a really good ult from Dante, though. It splits both of the Shock members.
And like we mentioned before, the spawns are super close here. So for Houston...
Well, Happy's already back. He just died, and he's already back shooting shots again.
Wow. I mean, this is crazy.
I mean, those are two crazy picks from Happy. I mean, I don't think Hugh said any business winning that fight, but those two picks were crucial on crucial members there.
Absolutely. Good news for Shock, at least, is that they have some good ults coming up here now. They do have May ult, they do have High Noon. I wouldn't doubt it if they use the High Noon to get the DM out, and then they use the May ult after. Would be the ideal play, obviously, but then there's obviously Maywall and a couple other things. So if actually Houston uses a good Maywall here, you might actually see the play not work that well.
Stay alive.
Happy's one of the best Widows in the world.
In the last fight by Happy.
Truly one of the best Widows in the world. No exaggeration.
Yeah.
60-70% of their healing in one headshot.
Okay, so they wall off the window.
Yep.
Striker flanks onto the Widow.
Which smart decision to back off there. It's not really
Piggy's doing such a good job playing on the side angle there. Not making it easy to Blizzard, but Nero does get it off.
Yep.
Django's gonna die for it.
Yeah, and look,
Shock up 64.
Yeah, I think Shock's gonna take this fight.
This looks a lot cleaner from the Shock.
But that was, you know, if you're you're Outlaws
Houston
right
is
now,
happy with that. Houston is definitely happy with that defense.
That was close to 5 minutes health, if I'm correct. Because I know Shock almost instantly capped first point.
Being able to use the Blizzard, they put in a good position.
Now, right now, they need to regroup, though. Outlaws need to,
the Shock, they had no immortality build, no main.
Otherwise they can snowball this really hard going into the third. Shock kept the map control.
And that point, they just
Someone in chat said about my webcam. It's just kind of the website. It's not really on my end. There's not much I could do. It's a little pixelated, but it's not the worst. So
it happens sometimes. If you saw it at the beginning, it's gotten a lot better. At the beginning, anyway, it just happens. We use something so we can sync it up correctly. We'll keep looking into options to make it better as we go through. It's a work in progress.
Okay, speed high noon. Good E from Piggy though, but it forces out Dante's ice block. Like kind of with a window of their own. FE God runs through. Oh, that's a really good beat. I like the aggression there from the Shock. That is so good.
Once again,
it's really scary to run through. Ooh, big shot of
slam.
Big slam.
But they clearly haven't spent enough time with
and actually,
very scary to run through a window, but FE God, I'm sure, communicated to his team, like, hey, don't be scared. I'm going to beat us through. So that was really good.
At this point, you know, Shock could finish with time here. It really depends what happens here with this delay. Oh, yeah. And Piggy went too high up in the air.
Time.
And then, you know what? That just shows you, like, one, obviously Shock is really good, but like, imagine that you end up holding for the whole second point up until the last fight, and you have a minute 30, and Shock takes map control right away.
I'm not panicked.
Oh, I'm gonna actually listen to this.
Good. That's good.
Let's go.
Like some.
Oh, they're hyped.
Great comm check.
Yeah.
They're pumped.
Yeah.
Woo! Sort of appeal to calm
but
yeah,
I
I mean, Shock doesn't let it get to him. Like, oh man, it took us forever to cap second, but they just switched gears really quickly, and I mean, they capped with 20 seconds left, and that's still really good on Blizzard World. Capping with 20 seconds left, you'll take that.
Oh, you take that. And it's not like, and if you think about it, it's not like Shock was playing bad on second point either.
No, by no means.
Outlaws are just playing out of their mind. So when that happens, you can't really be like, oh, what were we doing? It's more like, they just played that well. Now let's go pop off on third.
This replay, FE God.
Let's go.
FE God is nuts on the Lucio, man. It's crazy.
100%. No, their support line in general is just their team is just has so much talent.
Takes into his own hands, start making his own plays.
So obviously now I'm curious to see what happens here. So Shock's going to set up on the high ground. Now, one thing I've always learned is that when you play and you have a play, like so for example, Shock's play was to speed boost to the point right away. When you do that as your set strategy, you then know how to counter that set strategy because you know how it counters you. And bless you. You know how it goes. So I'm curious to see what they do if
I think if OUTLAWS does try to go straight to point, I think Shock will be okay. So they opt to just So basically, they were up there just to poke for a little bit, just a little bit. They like holding on the point more, so I actually quite like the change from Shock instead of doing what OUTLAWS did.
And then they probably learned that through scrims. They probably saw teams do that, and they're like, yeah, I don't want to stay there.
Ooh, okay. I kind of like the Hanzo pick here from Happy. As you see in the angle he's on, it's kind of like a small window where you can shoot into the back of the Shock. So
you essentially off-angle it and just do a bunch of damage. Joy recognizes that too and is going to keep going for the Hanzo. Not going to be able to help with the front line as much. Has to basically take care of the
But see, there you go. There goes Striker. Happy gets a headshot of the Striker.
And Joy was doing a great job and still got the headshot.
It's impossible to completely contain all of the damage from the Hanzo. There's going to be arrows to get through.
So much pressure on the Shock, it forces them to play inside of
Still, they weren't able to really make a play off of that. Nero is out of position on the side though, so they have to save him and use cooldown.
Good lamp though. Really good lamp. Really good lamp. Perfect lamp. And now Super and Choi are in there doing tons of damage. Choi does the shoot.
And the shot pierces straight through it now.
Big slam!
Big slam?
On both sides.
Both sides. But both teams use window and shatter there, but it looks like the pick from Happy ended up making a big difference.
Well, one thing we can say is, you know what Super was thinking? If I shatter here, that will get their shatter out, and it did. It was a really smart play.
Yep. You guys just couldn't understand.
Yeah, it was just one of those plays.
Super's brain's a little too big for the general public.
That was great. All right, second point now, where we saw OUTLAWS hold Shock for like pretty much 5 minutes there. So I'm curious to see what Shock does strategically if they want to play close.
Oh, they're going around the world here.
Oh, okay.
Outside the coast rotation. Really good. Oh, that's such a good dragon from Happy.
Wow.
Happy has been so good here on this attack.
And I want to point out
now
that
they have no speed.
I was going to say, like, a lot of people might look at that and go, oh, what is this play they're doing? It's a good play. It's just OUTLAWS are reacting to these plays extremely well.
Yeah. No, I like the rotation
but
from
that
Shock
cart's
there.
still moving. Now San Francisco are ones that have driven a small wedge between the Outlaws compositions.
Okay,
But Happy works his
Dante
way back
trades with
through
the
on this
Blizzard of his
right-hand
own.
side. He's in danger though. I don't know if
Choi doing a really good job marking that off angle.
Too busy getting rid of Super.
I agree.
Tricoven goes for the D-suit.
Oh, good boot from FB God. Forces out the lamp, and
Crimso's
Crimso's very low. Crimso's like a nice. That's a really good, absolute carry from FB God there.
You're doing something to me, baby. That's incredible.
That was really good play. Wow. And to
Now
think
Piggy's
this,
gonna get staggered.
to think this fight started when they did that wraparound on Coast. That was the same fight.
Yep, same fight.
Yeah.
He'll be in a tough
Really good delay
Oh.
here on Piggy.
on the D-Mac.
Poor
He'll go for a
Piggy.
bit of a ride.
Oh
on the
no,
road.
poor Piggy.
So the strategy right there is charge
Violet
baby
dies?
diva away. Yep. Oh wait, Violet died during that? Oh wow.
Happy has been crazy so far in the series.
Happy has been popping. Yeah, I do think they. Yeah, that's a really good high noon. So that high noon is not designed to get any kills. It's
This is
designed to buy
basically
time.
buying as much time as possible for Violet to get back. That's what the high noon
Yep.
is.
That's saying we need to buy time.
Please don't take the map from us while Violet's dead.
Yep.
Basically what it is.
And it's smart by Outlaws not to try to take that fight
Yep.
either. Like, okay. It was a good pick, but we got what we needed there.
Okay, so Happy has the info with the wall hacks. He's looking for a drag underneath, so it's not eatable by Choi.
Which would be really good. And you know Choi's looking for it too. Choi's set up. He's like, okay, they have ult.
Oh, if you have an ult that you can eat, Choi definitely knows, and he's definitely looking for it.
Yeah. We do have mail on Shock does have mail here.
Yep.
With window. They might use window first. There's the window. Window's one of those ultimates you just use when you have it a lot of the time because it's so good and you get it so fast.
And it builds so fast.
Yeah. So, and it's once again one of those zone elves. So if you just use it, they're more than likely they're just gonna back off anyway. And you buy time.
And there it is. And talk about Choi eating ult, and there it is.
Look at him in this cheeky little position. Eat up that dragon
Good
strike.
from Choi.
It's not common to see that at all, and yet we've
It's
really
gonna be
seen
smart
it
by
twice
Choi.
this season.
Okay, now Houston has given up the high ground to play kind of like on the cart by the arcade position.
They still have an objective. 2 minutes 23 on the clock.
So far, already 2.5 minutes off of the clock here on second.
Sorry, and he activates it immediately.
I think goes big slam.
Big slam. That was a bunny hop shatter.
Tries to forge ahead and use the Maywall, but Dante gets
He was just behind the shield. That's a really big slam from Super.
I do remember a certain main tank player saying that nobody would ever use that.
The Blizzard also helps.
And there's the bunny hop shatter right
And
there.
there it is.
I see what he was doing. He was saying that so other Ryans wouldn't use it. See,
Smart.
I knew when I was feeding my rank games and died immediately every single time I tried it. It was worth it. Okay.
All that practice paid off.
Yeah. Really good. Hold by them there, though. Don't be surprised to once again see Shock use their window pretty early on here, or go with high noon. Both zone and elves and both given time.
As soon as Houston shows any sign of wanting to take the high ground aggressively, one of those is likely to come out.
Yep.
Super almost has another one though, so that ultimate difference may not really be a factor in the
This is actually a really good fire strike.
Houston knows that they want to use one of those as well, so they're kind of, you kind of see them kind of teeter-tottering back and forth, and now they're full engagement with the bomb. Good pick on a Nero.
Wow.
That was a really smart engagement from Houston.
That was really smart. I agree. Shock needs to back out.
Super heads for the heal. Striker trying to buy a little bit of space, a chance to retreat with that Deadeye here, but that card
good
is
Piggy.
getting close.
Very good eat.
This is really tough for Shock. No ults, down members.
Ooh, big block by Super though. But
Good
yeah.
block, but still, not much Shock could do there.
Yep. I mean,
That was a really good engagement for Houston.
Oh,
They knew
100%.
they knew Shock had window, and they knew they had high noon. They were very, they were being very cautious. Engage with the bomb. Really good.
I agree. And when you look at that, when you look at the ults Houston had and what Shock had, you think that's just another dry fight for Houston there.
Yeah.
But, and they just played it smart. They were patient. In Overwatch, patience is very key. Very key.
Timing and patience is super underrated for a lot of players.
In terms of pace of that fight.
2 minutes remain on the clock.
All right, here we go.
San
Now, see,
Francisco
Shocky is going to get an early
time
fight here,
bank,
though. We didn't get to
so
see this
the
from
Outlaws will do
Outlaws.
the same. We'll go back to point 8.
Oh,
Careful.
no, good
shot
block, Drago.
Very good block.
Outlaws gonna get aggressive behind that
It's very
Super
common
got a
for
little
us.
cocky. That's a tough range to try and shatter.
Yep.
Good bomb though. Ooh, I did a lot of damage, especially to Piggy.
But once again,
Forced that beat.
that's like the second or third time I've seen Happy after Choi.
Oh my god!
Wow.
That is unreal. Because I think Happy also sniped Choi out of the sky when he was bombing, and now he two-tapped FD God. He's gonna hit a flank
He's
here.
going for a flank?
Oh
my god.
Oh, Happy.
Wow.
Happy is unreal.
And another thing I want to point out, when you like that, Happy's playing with confidence right there. When you have those numbers and you go for a flank play right there.
Defense matrix beautiful there from
Wow.
Choi.
Good eat from Choi there onto FD God from the high noon, but he does get demaxed.
Yep.
Getting demaxed. Deadeye comes in here.
Oh, Violet gets sniped from across the map by Dante with the icicle.
Piggy has been
Well,
Harley buys any space.
Right, choice.
Shock in a tough spot here.
So look at where the
It's gonna be up to Nero here to kind of buy some time here and hopefully get some freezes with his Blizzard.
Okay. You have a self-destruct, you have a shatter here, a lot of ultimates to get this across the line with a better time.
Oh, wow.
Frozen there, or at least forced to ice block at some
They
point.
did use lamps, so if Nero can get off a really good melee here, this would be perfect for them.
Okay, Piggy bombs here. It does get Violet, but that allows Nero to get a free Blizzard off.
Which they did get Ryan in there right now.
Choice in there with the Body Blaster, desperately trying to kill the Reinhardt.
I think this might be going to another...
1 second faster. 1 second faster.
Here's my question. Do you like when you're playing in this situation here, do you like being the one who attacks first in like the overtime, or the one who attacks second?
I like defense. I like defense first. I'm not a big fan of having to attack. It depends on the map, I guess. It depends on how I guess it depends on how confident you are on the strategy that you have for the map.
Okay.
But generally, I mean, obviously defense is just generally an easy way to play the game. So I generally like defending first. But there are certain maps where attacking first is favorable for sure.
That makes sense. The only reason why I've always liked attack is because I feel like, and I love hearing that too. I love like the difference in like the styles and the play style. I've always liked attack because, and this is just me, when you play attack, if you set the tone, and even if they hold you at like,
if you have a really good attack, you can really roll through and set the tempo of the map. I agree.
Or if you get full held on second, you now know where you need to hold, and you play a little bit kind of more aggressive and more like you play defense a little bit more loose than you would, which a lot of the time is better because most teams will be used to like, oh, okay, this team's gonna do this and that, but then you play a little bit more. I don't know. It's definitely different in style, which is really cool because I love that some players.
There's definitely advantages and disadvantages to both sides, yeah.
Shock's attacking first.
See how both sides switch up their strategies. We'll see if Houston maybe drops on the high ground a little earlier. Maybe they stay there longer. We'll see.
No, I'm definitely curious to see what they do.
Where you kind of have a pretty aggressive flex pro with Violet. Now that they both are pretty aggressive, like how do you play around this?
It's the Houston opts to hold the high ground a little longer than Shock does, for sure.
I want to see if they make an adjustment, like you said too. Like and they did.
Happy is just too good. Too many headshots.
Literally, it's just popping. And once again, that confidence. See, going for the off angle, going for the kill right away, not even like second guessing.
Striker might get him out. Striker does trade him out. That is a big trade there.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go.
Houston won't be at full strength by the time Shock comes back.
And I don't think they'll be able to hold the high ground. They might actually have to back out completely. It looks like if you look though, Dante is holding up with a wall.
Dante is being aggressive here. I like that though.
They're gonna wall them off. They actually might be able to wall them off. They have to force the right.
Dante hiding in the corner, uses the Maywall.
I think Choi will have to go to pointer after God.
Yeah, Choi can touch. Oh, but this does set up an opportunity. Look at Happy. Happy's kind of on that side angle. Okay, he does regroup the team.
This is gonna be a close fight.
Hey, lamp out early from Crimzo. Oh, good lamp. He gets swung out by Jungwoo's hammer out of the lamp.
Can't move a muscle and is taken down.
Oh, that is so tough to
kill on
super.
and the Outlaws.
Nero has Blizzard.
They do not break their
but I don't think it's gonna
he got it. He gets. Oh, he can't touch though.
Wow. So I mean, I guess if we look at it this way, Shock still has a chance to not give the map win. Keep in mind this.
Now
is
they know
what
they do. Yep.
It's not like it's not going to be you have to. It's only 3 maps or only 4 maps. It's first to 3. So for Shock at this point, they're going. You know what? Let's just. We're not going to win this map, but let's at least make sure we don't give them another win. Because then at that point, it's already match point.
Where you need. Like if you can get
it. It's crazy.
Very rare for Shock to be backs against the wall like that.
Yeah. No, one thing I'm noticing about Outlaws right now is they're playing with a lot of confidence. And I think a lot of the time, Shock is always the team that's playing with that confidence and making every team second guess their decision, what they're doing. What they're right now. You're seeing Happy just hit 3 headshots in a row.
He's feeling it.
Yeah,
he knows he's feeling it too.
And Happy's one of those players that when Happy's on, like Happy, I mean, it's
game changer. He's absolutely a game changer.
I know Outlaws fans would love to see them go for something here, but I mean...
Well, I guess we'll see what happens here. Looks like, Shock obviously going to hold high. I wonder if they're going to do the same strat this time, where they just back off to point, or if they're actually going to maybe try to do the same type of wall that that Outlaws did and maybe go for a quick pick. Because once you get a pick on this first fight, it's like...
it's really hard to hold.
It's one of the... I mean, I could be wrong, but it feels like it's one of the more longer distance maps the first point.
First attack.
Yeah, it's definitely a long walk just to get to the first point.
Yeah.
You take the first map, you're like, oh, well, we're kind of playing with house money, but like you
meanwhile, somebody does the stats, it's the exact same on every map. I'm like, oh.
You're gonna
okay. Well, it feels like it.
Try and get that
It's long, all right?
But
again, yeah, Shock ends up going just straight to the point.
Yep.
They like playing this corner.
Absolutely. The Outlaws trying
It's very good for the Rhino swing here.
Focus on the task in front of them. That is
Shock's got this.
Okay, FD's doing a good job kind of playing on this wall, scouting for the flank, getting the information.
But no, the Outlaws are playing together in a death ball style.
Looks like, you know, I'll charge is in favor of Shock a little bit right now, but that's pretty common here.
Crimso is just Crimso's dead. Nice shot.
Oh wow! And it's only 20 seconds.
Because there's 20 seconds. Crimso was 85 on window.
Yep.
That is a crucial pick.
So what Shock is going to do is they're going to go for this
They're
as much
really
as they
going to
can.
press the advantage.
Yep.
Yes, yeah.
Because there's only 10 seconds, they're not going to have BAP. BAP just respawned. And they're going to
has to go. Piggy's half
at half.
HP. Juby's half HP. They have
Really
no
good
wall.
window.
They're split.
All right.
Good job, though, to at least get the touch.
We do have a mail already on Nero.
Yeah,
big nail.
there's no suit, so he's going to get value out of this, guaranteed. Yeah, that's just...
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
No,
It's over. It's
over. Good job from Houston to keep touching, but they just don't have the resources to win this fight.
And I was thinking, like, you know, obviously if that was King's Row and there was 20 seconds on the clock and BAP dies, you go, okay, we're fine. Back away. We have another fight.
Yeah, he can come back. Maybe he could throw like a desperate lamp from across the map, but there there's no Shock.
Blizzard
It's way
World.
too far.
Yeah, 20 seconds to go.
Especially because
damn.
Crypto is so
What can you do about that?
Matrix. No Ant Matrix
Wow,
either.
we got quite the
Is that
quite the
good
match.
match.
Yeah, that was good.
moment in time? They're both just
This is definitely a lot closer than everybody expected. I mean, you know, obviously there was people saying it could be 3-0 Shock. I mean,
I don't know who said that.
Really just
Other people, not us, clearly.
Yeah,
get started.
And look, it's a sigh of relief for San Francisco, Matt, but you know coming into this series,
So
they wanted
I think at that point they take that. You know, Shock's probably going to kind of.
to
It looks
go
like
into
I don't know how it works
the
specifically, but
breakup to
I wonder if they're going to be
nothing on the
doing some
scoreboard,
more
and
subs
it's got
coming in
to
here
bother them a huge
on Shock's
way.
side. If you look
Fire
at
in the
3 players who already
surely has
left.
been stoked.
What
They're
is
gonna
the
have to
map?
channel
It
that
is
now
Dorado.
as
So
they come
Dorado
back, because,
is
again,
generally
there are
over. I've been
opportunities
watching a lot of the
to get
APAC
the
games.
advantage.
Generally over in the
Sometimes
APAC region, they do a lot of double bubble on Dorado. So I'm interested to see if Shock do something similar, but Smurf in.
I wouldn't doubt it. You know, and I wonder if they're going to run. I wonder if they're going to run Violet on DPS again.
I wonder if it's genuinely. Yeah, I wonder if it's genuinely like. I'm not saying Shock trolls or anything, but I am curious if it's genuinely like a strategy that they do enjoy playing out on certain maps. So
Maybe I'm trying to think because if we think about it with like Dorado, for example, right?
America's largest
If you kind of compare how maps play, I feel like if you look at Gibraltar's second point and you look at Dorado's second point, they both play they're very tough maps.
Yeah.
And I guess, man, Dorado. What do you even do on Dorado when it's you can't run rush on Dorado because second point is just you can't really rush.
It's very hard. You have to be very creative with the rush on second if you want to make it work. But even then, it's just such a hard map. It's so long. There's so many high grounds.
So I wonder. Yeah,
I would expect Shock to put Smurf in if I had to guess. If I was a betting man.
You know, this is, and obviously, you know, obviously I want Shock to win, but think about this: second point Dorado, right? Happy on Widow. Is that a comp they run? Like,
that's a scary sight.
Yeah.
That's scary to think about.
Is that a comp they run? You know, and that's something I'm definitely curious to see.
I mean, what I like about the Overwatch League so far is that like we have this guess, like what are they gonna play? We've seen so many different strats, so many different heroes. That's what makes it so exciting right now. Is that the meta's so diverse and there's been so many different comps. It's just a lot of fun to kind of guess, like, hey, what are they gonna play?
Which and that's the. That's why I'm also a little bit concerned about the experimental because I don't know how much the experimental is going to change. But I feel like if they kind of waited a little bit to see these teams playing, because one thing I've realized with OWL is a lot of the time when it comes to at least the meta in certain ranks, obviously, because sometimes the meta can shift off a little bit in other ranks. People now see, I can run Anna Brig with Winston Zarya, and we can win with that, and we can run Rush, and we can run double shield if we want to, and we can run this and that. And I think I'm curious to see what rank meta becomes because of it. I'm curious to see, if that experimental will shift up the meta.
If it kind of leaks over into ranked a little bit.
Which is cool because
I like playing D.Va, but I'd like to play maybe some different comps every once in a while, a match where it's good for it. Like playing Rush on Dorado. Maybe I'm a little sick of it. Maybe I'd like to play a little, little Winston Zarya. Maybe a little something different.
Which is cool. And I mean, well, the thing is obviously, you and I love playing D.Va, right? But you gotta remember, there's players who love playing Zarya and playing these heroes, and the fact that we can, we can go into a game and go, you know what? I'm gonna play Ryan D.Va right now, and they're gonna run Winston Zarya, and you can kind of have that matchup and have that that's really cool. Think
a little differently, and it's it's a different way to play the game.
Which that's why this is one of the first times in Overwatch, because for the longest time in Overwatch, it used to be once a meta was set, I mean, you got 6 months at least on that meta. It's 6 months at least, and that was if they were if there was a patch, But now one of the beautiful things about what Blizzard does is they actually last year added a hotfix system where they could patch the game without having to get the verifications to do patches, so they can just literally come out with experimental, balance the game in 2 weeks, and that's really awesome.
Big change. I think a lot of people have asked for that just faster. I think generally the changes they made were pretty good when they changed the meta, but it just took too long. So good change from Blizzard. For sure.
And I think that will be really good, going into even Overwatch 2, having that ability to hotfix, so the balancing can happen quicker. Because before it was like, oh, well, we got to come out with a patch to do the balancing, and now it's like, well, here's an experimental, and D.Va can do 250 damage, when she gets into her mech.
Shields up.
Which
I may or may not be purposely demech to run into people and try and one-shot people.
I may or may not have spent 4 hours in experimental on stream trying to do it, and I will tell you what,
here's the mastermind,
failed miserably, but it was fun.
Yo, give me bubble. I'm gonna remake.
Yeah. No, even better, you run D.Va Zarya as the comp.
Yeah.
Grav D.Va mech.
Grav remake. Yeah.
You can bubble the baby D.Va in.
Yep.
And the baby D.Va has to play on the flank, though. You have to hide somewhere when it happens. But
do you get ult charge from remaking?
You know what? I haven't tested that. My guess is no.
I don't think so, because I think you're still in the act of changing between the two characters. So I don't think you would.
Although one thing they did fix is, remember when D.Va used to get in the mech and you get no ult charge? That you get ult charge now, from what I've seen.
Do you?
What I've seen, and I could be wrong. It's not. And if it still doesn't give you ult charge, it's a little bit quicker than it used to be. Remember, it used to be like they get.
It used to be super long. Yeah.
Now, if you watch yourself play, at least if I'm correct in this, and I'm pretty sure I've seen it, you get ult charge quicker than before. It might have a little bit of like a half a second timing again, but it's not like it used to be. Because I noticed on Zarya, when they get back in the mech, I'm already getting my ult charge on it.
Oh, interesting. I haven't noticed that. I'll have to pay more attention to that.
Or I could be completely wrong, but you know what? You know what?
One of my favorite maps.
But I used to complain about that a lot. I'd be like, why can't I just get ult charge when D.Va gets in the mech? Because you'd be at like 95% on Zarya, which has a slow charge rate.
And you're sitting there beaming a D.Mech D.Va, and it's like, I'm getting nothing here.
And then you get one shot, and then you don't get your grab off. You're like, come on!
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure it changed a little bit on that. But yeah, once again, if everybody's enjoying the co-stream, make sure to sub to the Shock YouTube. Obviously, follow Shock on Twitter and Instagram at SFShock.
People wondered if you get some time.
If you didn't see, they just recently came out with the limited edition jerseys. I think there's a link in the chat for that. I think we have like a command for it, but if not, I will get the link
since he
soon.
went back.
Obviously, I don't even know if they
have
these jerseys, but I love the jersey I have on now. The Shock.
Also, I mean, Jake just has a
like
fantastic
Shock
mind for the
baseball,
game, right?
like,
Being able to put him in a
almost.
position like this to play support in a more calling position traditionally than like a a damage.
How you feeling so far, McGravy? You having a good time?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think the match is really good, so it's always nice. Oh, wait, is Jake playing?
Jake is
playing.
Support.
Jake is playing support.
Jake is on support.
Okay, so this really screams to me. I think Jake is gonna be playing the break for the Houston Outlaws.
Okay.
I think he's gonna be playing the break, and they're gonna be playing double bubble.
Hey, you know
That's
what?
my prediction.
And I love this. I love this. And just to point out, we do have Violet on DPS.
Do we? Oh,
Violet
man.
on DPS, Twilight. So it seems that
I think I kind of get it. I think I know what they do. So on the maps where they want to play Ana, more of the double bubble, they want Twilight to play.
Yes.
And they're also like, well, we don't want Violet to play anymore. Violet's insane at the DPS. Let's have Violet on the DPS. Okay, I kind of see how it works now.
And maybe in scrims for a while they just realized that when they ran this exact team comp and player combination, it just went really well.
Yeah.
But once again, that's so cool. We literally have Jake on support, which this would be his first time ever playing support, right? I don't recall him ever switching to support when he back in the first few seasons when he was playing. So this is huge, and he's been grinding a lot of the heroes. Like he was playing pretty much every role.
I think he's top 10 in support, or was top 10.
I mean, he's a good player, and sometimes you'll see those role switches on players, and they'll go from being a really good, he was a DPS player, but maybe he's like, you know what, I can have a couple of roles on DPS that I want to play, but I'm gonna go to support now, and he can bring that. And he's a good team leader too, so having him in there on support and having him on, a hero where he can kind of like also play more backline and kind of direct,
kind of direct the show. Yeah, I agree.
Because obviously as tank players, sometimes you want to lead the show too, but sometimes you just can't. Like there's so much happening, and maybe it can help a little bit more on this map too.
Having that hand behind you, kind of like pushing you forward, like, hey, you can go up, I got you. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly. Which is cool. I'm excited to see how this goes. Obviously, I want Shock to win this, and I will say, so far, even though it's been one time, one map, Violet popped off on DPS last time.
He was crazy.
And Smurf was playing unreal too.
The changes rather to McCree, I won't call them buffs. The changes that made him slower firing.
Despite going 2-0 last season, it
benefited.
Wow, worst map too last season, or across all seasons that is. Huh. But they went 2-0 last season, so every season's different. Every Overwatch League season's going to be different. Patches and things like that. So.
Are you buffering, or is that just me?
I am not buffering currently.
Okay.
But I will
probably just my internet.
It's all good. I'll let you know what's going on right now. Nothing, because there's 25 seconds left.
I'm back. Okay. It's just
what time are you at right now?
Quick blip. Let me hit the live button again.
Yeah.
I'm at 16, 15,
Okay, would you
14.
mind pausing for 2 seconds again, just hit and play, and we're good.
Yep.
Perfect.
Pretty aggressive comp.
Or I'm 11, 10.
We're around the same spot,
Good.
yep.
Cool.
It's like a 10th of a second off, but we're not going to. Next thing you know, I'm going to pause, you're going to pause.
But like, I said double bubble a ton. If everyone doesn't know, double bubble is what's sorry, because of both characters have bubbles.
Yeah.
Thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, it's really good.
I'm sure a lot of people know, just in case. A couple people don't.
So look at Outlaws comp. Initially, I don't know if they're going to change this right away, but they're running Brig Zen, which a lot of people are like, oh, there's no healing in that comp. Brig Zen's a very strong support comp. A very strong support comp.
Very strong.
Yeah, trying to play for some of that high ground.
Wow, I was surprised. That is not what I expected.
Here is that Dante right away wins the Tracer duel with Glister, so
Dante with a quick kill on the Glister.
Dante there.
Yeah. And obviously Dante's a very, very, very good Tracer, so Dante's feeling pretty confident going into here.
Violet trying to get an angle.
Kind of a slow start again for Shock.
Doesn't move a muscle on the player cam, just absolutely dialed in. Dante, on the other hand, is forced back. A couple of those for 3 shots hitting, so now Dante's been...
I mean, this is tough. I mean, it's very hard for them to take space with the Discord Orb. Discord Orb cannot be understand it. It's very hard to move around the map sometimes when you're like 30% extra damage. What, 25%, 30%?
Yeah. So the idea here is with Brig Zen, they're not going to... Basically, diving in is going to be tough. Until you build that nano. So what Shock probably will do is build a really fast nano and then engage with that nano. The Twilight is currently at 100%. So I wouldn't doubt if they engage now with nano, and then that's their play.
Jake's in trouble. He gets hit with a bionic grenade, and Glister eventually going to be able to take him down, but Smurf invested so heavily in getting to the high ground.
Peel.
He eventually is taken down. That's a pretty early personal bubble.
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Was forced out of the choke, and San Francisco
obviously Dante used Pulse Bomb there, which is good pulse. I mean, obviously...
That is Shock's window to kind I get advantage there with the nano for sure.
That seems to be the play.
Choi goes over to the Diva. I think that's partially because of the Ashe, but also I think the bubble's just not enough given the amount of damage that Outlaws has. So I think Choi kind of wants to follow Smurf now and give him a little more resources.
Yeah, one thing I can say on this map, especially when you're playing Zarya and you try to get any ult charge or anything going on in this map, unless you do the right-click jump onto the bridge from below, you're not getting
very hard.
You're just sitting there, and you'll probably get rolled if you do that. So they're gonna go for like just basic high ground control to the right, as you can see there. And it looks like Outlaws is gonna give up a little bit of space here. A little bit of space. And this definitely is a tough Zarya map. As you can see, even Piggy's only 65 on grab because it's one of those maps that it's like super
essentially just a bubble bot.
Yep.
Oh.
Some people just have everything. Great cast.
Yeah, you can tell with Jake here on Brig. Jake's playing very far back, worrying about just solid good position, and that's really good when it comes to playing Brig, especially. Just
not to just Brig players, but it's not like Brig's a super. It's a lot about your game sense, a lot about like how you think about the game. It's not super mechanically intensive. It's just a lot of awareness, really.
But one thing is true, you can definitely tell the difference between when he's like a good Brig and like a bad Brig too. There's a difference.
There is a difference.
Both teams are. This is a big fight for Shock. This is where they have to engage and use a lot of their ult pool. And if they don't win this fight, it's going to be tough.
Coach Cam will be a problem, and he recalls before he's knocked back by that
Glister with an attempt on the pulse, very close.
Yeah, we do. It looks like they're going to play once again. Outlaws is going to keep playing again.
Wow. Smurf is just getting. Oh, poor Smurf.
Wow. This is. And I'm going to be real here. I mean, Shock's going in here with just high noon in the next fight.
Yeah,
and
this is going to be tough.
Outlaws, you know, one hero that you want going into overtime on defense is Bob. Happy's about to have Bob.
Bob, Mines, Trance. I mean, they have ults to deal with what Shock has for sure.
Especially with these long
right now, like
what I was talking about, maybe
this is crazy.
He's just going to outrange Violet, be able to just pick him apart, do constant damage at range. So
Smurf trying to take it a little bit slow here. You know, just tap the point. Don't overcommit to the point too much. Remember, it's what, 3 seconds? Touch the point, and then it goes into overtime.
Yeah, you have 3 seconds. Yep.
This is actually unbelievable.
Kind of a rule, to be honest.
Obviously, though, Shock is very capable of doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
But that was, I mean, right now, Outlaws is just. They're just, here the comms.
It's not over. It's not over. You can full out this map. It's global.
Oh, look at Jake. Listen to Jake.
Really careful, really smart.
You absolutely need a player like that where, like, everyone's really hyped. They're like, oh, we just full out the Shock. But, like, hey, the game's not over. Like, Shock is more than capable of doing the exact same thing they did to us. I think Jake is well aware of that.
Yeah, every team needs a player like that who, when everybody's hyped up, you go, just remember, we still have to get attack here, play smart. You know, and that's exactly what he said. Playing smart's one of the, it's weird because you'll be like, well, of course they're going to play smart, but it's always good to have somebody remind you to play smart. Because the next thing you know, you're going out there and you know, Piggy might just randomly bubble somebody, or you know, they might run ball and ball will just roll in for fun, and the next thing you know, you give Shock 5 ultimates a minute in, and then now you're like, oh crap.
Right? So you have an idea, and there's so many different things they can play off of this.
Yeah, solid stuff.
So it's really just what they feel the best and most comfortable playing. Jake played really strong in the Brig that time. Being able to protect Crimzo against Glister there was huge. Definitely deterred Glister from going back there again, trying to find the pick. It's Houston in a position, I mean, you think about it, like, Crimzo doesn't get picked off last map, right? Who knows what happens in that one final fight on Blizzard World. Like, they're in a position to maybe win this 3-0, but in a very good spot to at least grab Dorado.
White-knuckled grip for San Francisco on their peripheral.
All right, here we go. We're starting off.
Fighting to stay in this map and avoid being on the wrong end for match point.
All right, so Happy starts out with the Widow, looking for quick picks.
San Francisco must.
Which once again,
Choi.
Happy has a very good Widow.
Yes.
Has a very good Widow.
Very good Widow.
Interesting
Competition's gotten bigger.
Yeah, to get the Ana up here on the high ground.
Okay, so Houston played the ball on defense, and now they're playing the double bubble bowl. You know, the Winston's already on attack with the Ana. So I'm interested why they feel like the ball. I'm interested. I'm just a little curious on why they feel like the ball Zen is stronger on defense and the Winston Ana is better on attack.
My guess
maybe it's just the nature of how maybe Nano Winston works.
I think they just like to play super defensive on first point. I actually think if we got the second point, they would have switched up their confidence. I think they're confident in holding defensively there.
Yeah.
And that's why they went with that. They want their whole idea is we're never going to really engage the fight. We're going to play defensive, and they know that you know you can't just go on the cart with double bubble. You have to engage and make plays. So that's probably why. But wow, this isn't even.
This isn't even close.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
See how strong his echo is.
Glister ended up dying early, and they catch out Choi, who's a little far ahead and gets bubbled off.
This is going to be over, Matt.
Yeah, this is one-sided.
FD God is down.
Outlaws look surgical.
Glister tries to touch the point there, but that's
just
about all she wrote. The Outlaws deliver a stunning suplex to the Shock here on Dorado.
This can be one of those things, you know, where maybe Shock, you know, looks at what what's going on. They're able to kind of make some slight adjustments. And keep in mind, they did. You know, that Blizzard World tie could, you know, you never know. It's either going to be, holy crap, if we won that, we 3-0 them, or Shock, you know, reverse sweeps this and it's 3-2.
Yeah. Shock's out their back against the wall. Last time I remember that happening was playoffs last year against Washington. It was a similar situation. They were down 2 maps, so yeah. Interested to see how the Shock reacts this early on in the season.
Yeah. And obviously, you know, even though I think they're subbing out Jake soon, one thing they really should, you know, look at right now and remind the team of the same thing. It's not over. You got to play smart, because if they don't, then Shock has been in this situation before. They're down 0-2.
Absolutely. If you're junk bucking harsh,
they're
you're
down
hoping
0-2, they can pop off.
Surpass the master in Krusty now. Stick around after
that was
break,
crazy.
ladies and gentlemen. Houston will try
that was
to close
crazy.
the
I
series.
didn't expect that.
Just want to
Neither did I. I thought it'd be a close map. I thought because they had Smurf in to play more to the Smurf strengths, they would do a lot better. But Houston was good. Credit to Houston.
That's crazy. We're gonna go over to this scene for a second here.
The official refreshment of the Overwatch.
Let me switch over to this scene, and I'm gonna try for a second to adjust the. I'm gonna see if I can add this little set into the webcam that might be able to fix it, because I think there's a setting I can use to add on to it. So yeah, that was a really, really, really crazy. I did not expect any of that. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to fathom. You're not used to Shock being in a position like this.
I know. I mean,
especially against the team, or even myself. I kind of underrated Houston a little bit going into the season. Where I thought Houston would be good, but certainly not this good.
Well, you know what? And that's just it just shows that they've been. Whatever they've been doing while practicing is that they commit to the idea of playing together as a team, and you can tell that they're playing with confidence. Like, for example, something that happened there on defense, first point Dorado, is you notice how when they had Grav, the whole team committed to backing up and trusted that they would be able to stop the cart around the statue and then be able to peel back. Stuff like that, you don't see that a lot where teams will be they're confident in we're gonna back up, right? We're gonna back up and we're just gonna completely we're gonna grab the Winston if they engage. If they don't, we can grab forward. And they all committed back. They trusted their teammates could hold cart, and it's just
super coordinated, super confident.
Yep. And I also wonder because hasn't Jake been being both not only the support and a coach too? Apparently he's been helping the coach too.
No, that was kind of the idea. Was I was kind of surprised that Jake played at all, because I was under the assumption he was kind of like a player coach and kind of just there as backup. But props to Houston. They found a way to use him, and obviously it was really good.
Exactly. That was crazy. And I'm just going to add some into the link here so your webcam is going to refresh very quickly. And yeah, chat, the webcam issue is just more on what we're using to get this going. So obviously, if you ever watch McGravy's stream, I'm sure it's not, the webcam's not like this the whole time. So
yeah, is this thing on? Is it the webcam? No.
One thing he has on his streams is he offers his webcams. Let me see this right here. I think it's literally just the thing we're using. I'm gonna try this. This might maybe make it better. It might refresh or it might not work, but we'll try it out. We'll see. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Right now it's working, but once again, I can also just refresh it occasionally, and that might work with it too.
Yeah.
So far, I hope everybody's been enjoying the matches. It's been kind of, I know obviously, we want Shock to win and pop off. So yeah.
Obviously, not a favorable outcome at the moment, but it's a good match regardless.
Yeah, absolutely. I still think it could be one of those games that finishes to a 3-2 in Shock's favor, but you got to give credit, to Outlaws. They're playing well. But one of the exciting things about Overwatch League this season is that I feel like it always used to be, you'd have a bunch of different rosters and all the players are really good, but sometimes the chemistry doesn't match up, or the players don't work on a certain roster. And okay, that didn't work when I did that with the webcam, so let me just stop that. That wasn't the play there. That's why we're doing this now in between the match. Now, a lot of the teams are more competitive, and I think that is really good for Overwatch in general and Overwatch League. The more competitive teams there are, it makes it so matches feel
better. It's really, I agree. For sure.
I'm super excited about that. This is really, really, really cool. And now we've seen Shock to get this reverse sweep. What map do we have next? Do you happen to have that up near you?
Yeah, let me put it back. We have Temple of Anubis.
Okay.
Temple of Anubis.
Okay.
So I think that's. Yeah, I expect it to super come back in on that map. I think it's a very Rush favored map.
Yeah, that is a map. That is for sure. That's going to be very interesting to see. All right, well, I tried both of these additions to the webcam to make it work, but I'm going to try something else that might work. We'll see if this works. Yeah, that crazy so far. Yeah, it's good to have you on here. I hope you've been enjoying. I know it's a little bit different. I know you have done things like this before too. It's cool to have you, and I hope you're enjoying the being able to do something like this, and it's really cool. So
yeah, no, I'm having a lot of fun. Obviously, I'm usually a very what's the word for it, expressive person, so I'm selecting my words carefully given the state of where I'm at. But
hey, it's okay.
Other than that,
yep. You know what? On the first co-stream, I yep.
Yep.
So
yep.
Yeah, it's good. It's gonna be fun. To if you want to know what my favorite map is, Kings Row. I've always liked Kings Row, but let's say everybody always says my favorite map's Kings Row. So let me give you a second map here. Eichenwald. One of my second favorite maps.
I like Icon. Icon. I think Icon's an underrated map. I really do like Icon.
Icon Wall is one of those maps too where, and I think Blizzard probably recognizes this too. It's one of those situations where the map when it first came out was just, I don't know if anybody knew this, but it used to be just you just go onto the bridge. That was it. There was no other like variation of the map. Icon Wall is one of my favorite maps. I think that map it plays super well. It's just one of those maps where, and I talked about it last co-stream. It's one of those maps where you could literally just get rolled and they have 4 minutes and you still win the map. It's one of those maps that never feels losable.
Yeah, I feel like you always have a chance on Icon Wall.
Yep. I love the way it plays. And it's weird because like it's one of those maps too where high ground is so dominant. But what's different about the high ground there is that at a certain point the high ground loses its value to where like it's the distance, if you don't get them in that initial like burst across, it's pretty much just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Compared to like Dorado, where you just kind of hope
the high ground's is superior. It's all controlling. Don't have high ground, you're probably not winning.
I've suggested a change to Dorado because remember how Hollywood used to feel really tough on second point before they added the elevators to be like, we can go up as a team. I think second point Hollywood plays better now. What if Dorado they added something similar where you could get up to the high ground from like the side? So you still have to go through like that, the house up there and all that, and you still have to kind of go up there, but like you don't have to go on the coast. I feel like a lot of time, even in rank, people are afraid to go there because if the defense engages you there, or it takes 4.5 minutes.
It just takes so long.
But if you have like a ramp up there or something like that,
like church was like a little different. Maybe it was like a stairwell up the church.
Yeah, exactly.
Something along those lines. Like, yeah,
I think the map would
be cool.
play well. Yeah, I think the map would be much better across the board. And it looks like we do have the rosters back in there. So let me switch over, put the volume back on. Here we go.
Because they're really a newly
okay.
There we go.
Jake is out.
Jake is out.
Was to be expected given the rush having to be on Alicia.
Yeah, which is crazy that Jake was able to play support and then they won the map. Full hold, first point Dorado.
That's crazy.
Out of this.
I mean, you gotta feel good. Like on your debut on a different role, coming out and full holding the shock. I mean, you gotta feel pretty good about that.
I mean, we've obviously played games with Jake and we get him either in ranked or we played against him or he is just when it comes to being a very solid player and I think most importantly just doing his job on the team, like his job on his role on that team is that he was going to go brig and he was going to make sure that he does that, and that's really good to have. And like I said, the fact that he can coach that too, like he's also like helping coach with that is really cool. It's really cool.
Looks like he's in a
and of course now the webcam
he seems to have some.
But
feels like it's inevitable, but
I'm gonna look into some options going forward that will help with just the webcam in general, because I'm curious to see if like I just ran it through maybe like Discord or something like that, how it would go. But like there's a couple of things I definitely want to try. For now it's all good. I just want to point out, chat, when the webcam does glitch out or anything like that, it's not on your end or anything like that, so don't worry about that. It's more on the way I have it set up with the webcam right now. So you can blame me for that.
Well, knows how to get the most out of a team, teammates in general. And then also kind of cool, Matt, just leading the whole ship now, right? It's like the GM, like somebody who's played in the league in the past.
We need Shock to pop off here.
Okay. Now with the Outlaws.
So I want to see some smiles in the chat for Shock to pop off right now.
For this match.
Any smilers?
Yeah, any smilers. That's what we want to see right
now.
You'll see. It'll take a couple seconds. We're gonna see the smiles, and we're gonna smile. We're gonna smile. Shock to victory here, okay?
Absolutely ragdolled. And by the way, 10k damage per 10 minutes is like a benchmark of a very.
It takes a little bit. I've realized it has a slight delay.
Like 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
30% or so is incredibly impressive. He is gapping the heck out of.
It'll take a bit
on his McCree roll, and he's being able to do so because his front line's so damn.
There it is.
There we go. There we go.
There are all the beautiful smiles.
There we go. That's what we like to see. There we go. All right.
In that comm segment.
And nothing like Temple of Anubis
to need to finish the job.
Yeah.
I hope you still have a smile after you see the map. But we all love Anubis, right? Right?
Yep.
Striker Nero back in on DPS, Super back in for tank, and then Violet on the support.
Yeah, there's a lot of like I know people are like, oh yeah, can you move the cameras around with the player rhythms? There's a bunch of things we can do, and one thing I'm considering doing, and this is I might adjust it so I have multiple scenes. So for example, when we're in this, I can move the cameras down below, so it's good, and then when we go, because if I move the cameras down too low, then you can't see anything on that side of things. So I'll probably do some different. Remember, this is the first weekend ever of the watch parties, and it's
It'll get better.
One step at a time, but every single time that we have something, we go and adjust it and fix it. So, you know, by next one's going to be in 2 weeks after this because I don't think Shock plays next weekend. And we will have it set up better.
Make some adjustments.
Not familiar with being in this position.
All right, here we go.
Again,
So, looks like we're back to, you know, Striker and Nero, Super, Joy, Violet, FD God. This is it. This could be the start of some good dubs. Of some good dubs.
That lack of stability.
I definitely expect Shock to turn up a notch.
Occasions over these 2 maps. They did well to
Here we go.
hang in there on Blizzard World. But it was that trademark aggression that actually netted them the draw on that particular map, being able to find a key pick on Crimzo there. I mean, it is hunting season for
Expecting to see similar
right
from
now.
Houston as well. Probably just a very standard rush, if I had to guess.
Yep.
Happy might play that Hanzo, though. He actually might roll with that. Hanzo's pretty good here on the first point on Anubis.
Absolutely.
Yep. I mean, he was going crazy with the Hanzo on Blizzard World, so...
I mean, if he keeps playing like he has been, he's going to...
I think he has the right to make any hero that he wants, for sure.
Play whatever at that point. So it looks like Shock is committed to playing super close here. I wonder if the Hanzo arrow actually, they're going to use at the show where Nero is.
Hanzo is also very good because there's these little windows right above where Nero's sitting. Hanzo's also very good climbing up there and there. I mean, there it is.
Oh my.
Oh, he's got another. 3? I mean,
what do you even do?
I mean, what? 6?
How many times on the Hanzo?
He's look at that. He's such a team player. He doesn't even finish off the 6K. He's okay. He does finish.
Yeah, he does.
There's 6.
You could say that
But he
they're
went for
a team.
That is crazy.
That was
Just a casual 6K to start the south round.
And what do you even do about that? It was just like, what do you even do? You just go for second point. That what?
This could be really bad for Sam.
I mean, maybe like a change that Shock could do is like they have like the advantage of the close range battle with the McCree. Maybe they just take fights faster.
I think so. I think they might have to do that because Hanzo definitely
has been hurting them.
Hanzo doesn't play well in like rush comps. If the other team is rushing you, that is.
So I think hard to hit those headshots if the entire team's thrown in your face.
Yep. And D.Va can get a lot more value against Hanzo at that point too.
But the Outlaws aren't able to do anything with it. FD
God is dead. I think he took an arrow from Happy, so he was 1 HP. Yeah, I would just like to see the shatter.
How did D.Va get shattered there, but not?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to see Shock go a bit faster because I feel like they're letting Houston set all the tempo there with their ults.
I'm just.
Yeah, I'm kind of blown away, to be honest.
I don't know.
Dead. Took 2 arrows from Happy.
This is just.
Happy is. I keep saying Happy, and this is a team effort. Obviously, like Outlaws as a whole are playing well, but Happy is just on a whole nother level right now.
Oh yeah, I mean. The thing is it's it's like it's not even like Happy's like DMEC and D.Va and you go wow, no that DMEC D.Va that's crazy, that's gonna help the fight. Happy has has gotten picks on Via like probably like 10 times today, and okay maybe like 8 times today.
I mean 10's 10's probably not too far off.
Yeah, and when that happens, like what do you even like? I don't even know what to say at that point. It's you pretty much to kind of give you an idea with Rush meta right now. When you lose BAP in a team fight, unless you do have a good amount of ultimates going in, that's pretty much.
Yeah, they got. I mean, it's easy to say they have to keep the support.
I don't know.
What do you even say? I mean, let's see the replay. I think he kind of just sneaks an arrow into Violet in the back. Oh, he just storm arrows him, and Violet doesn't have a chance to get a lamp down or even get much of his self healing. And then I mean. Striker's just next on the menu.
That was crazy. I mean, what do you even do about that? I guess the good news is, if you're on Shock's side, is that you got to go, you know what? They can't do that again. So let's go finish with time. We're not going to let them do that again next time we play defense.
Shock season moves on.
That's the best thing they can do at that point.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes someone just pops off in Overwatch, you know?
You would have said another player
happens. It just happens.
To have this type of performance coming from APAC to NA. It would have been something like Blizzard.
All right, here we go.
Shock. We just haven't seen him get that much run. Just a tremendous player last year for London.
So Outlaws is going with the Echo Ash double bubble composition, and Shock taking a different approach than usual. They end up going through the left side towards the high ground.
Yeah.
But that's good because that forces off the Ana. You really want to get the Ana off the high ground and not free healing our whole team. So good rotation from Shock.
Very, very good rotation. And here we go. They're
now
starting
they
the
can
rush.
double back, kind of close the gap. This is so good from Shock. Look at this. They're slowly closing the distance on those slow immobile heroes. Now they have them box in the space where they want to fight. This is really good. Huge nade though from Crimzo. Huge nade.
And when they hit a nade like that with Echo, who's able to off angle, that's a ton of damage coming in.
So Shock does trade the 2 kills, but that was imperative that nade landed. So
this is one of those fights where they need to try to kill everybody there now, because when Shock starts coming back from spawn, it's pretty much
you're gonna get pinched. Yeah. See, they're super. Yeah, super comes back and starts
going on that.
So while that was really good from Crimzo, I think they were just in a spot that was too hard to recover from. So.
But still, the fight that Shock has to win there is just, you know, it wasn't like they had to earn that fight. That was a tough one. Bless you.
Coming into the
All
next
right, well, here we go.
On
to on a second point. Shock does have a good amount of ultimates. There is a time in here, but I imagine what they'll do is I don't know what hero Dante will go here on Echo, but I think they're gonna whatever hero Dante goes with is gonna be more about delaying to buy time. So they might go like 2 Rhines or something like that.
Likely a Rhine.
Yeah.
I'd just say a Rhine. Maybe a Diva.
Maybe Diva.
Tanks are just OP to copy. It's just too good to not copy a tank.
Yeah. I imagine he'll take Rhine here, but you know you got to make sure he actually gets Rhine too, because obviously he can be unlucky.
Obviously you can get unlucky and get random heroes. Yeah.
Dante's gonna get rid of that pretty early.
Good angle though, forces out Lamb.
Bomb McCree though, which once again,
we there simply to not die.
Yep.
But I see he dies anyways. So scatter from super. That's a really good bubble, but Jungle still dies.
Really good mail out of an arrow there too. That's gonna get 2 free kills. Like really good. Nope, that didn't happen. All right.
There's the backline and to confirm the kill on Crimzo. It walls off the Ash, very good. Forces Ash to coach gun up, which gets her killed.
Wow.
We got a map on our hands.
Yep.
They were 10 seconds slower than Houston, but I don't think they're upset with that at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're you know getting angry at each other, typing in chat, you know, putting typing random stuff to each other. I think they're pretty happy with that.
Pretty happy with that attack.
And they need that. They need that confidence. They need to be like, okay, what are we doing? Let's go pop off. Now, obviously, they might have to make a slight adjustment to what they did last time on attack here.
Yeah, because now Houston knows how they want to rotate and how they want to play, so Houston will make adjustments. So.
Yep. So, and that's what Overwatch is about, is when you have these maps where both teams finish the time, you then have to make an adjustment. And sometimes you don't even make an adjustment. You go, we're fine. But
this was working, you know, no need to change.
But then you also run into the you know, the idea that the other team's going, all right, we're gonna make this adjustment, and then you're behind on adjustments, which is really cool. I love that it's all about adjustments and looking at what. Sometimes you can like even look at like what another player on the team's doing. It's like, hey, you know,
it's very small stuff. It doesn't need to be anything huge. It could be very, very small stuff you change to how you play, and it makes you know big waves in your gameplay.
For example, they could be like, hey, you know, Happy went up on that window on the side there. He's you know,
he's close. We can knock him off and rush him down.
Exactly.
Or, you know, it's very simple stuff.
Like look at the angle he played, and because remember Happy on attack, he went into that room and went towards the wall on the side to go through that window. You rushed in there at a certain time. He's gonna die, or they're gonna force out Lamp, and then So there's a lot of things they can adjust. And it looks like Outlaws just changed their comp.
Yep, Outlaws is like, okay, the double bubble is not working on defense. Let's just try mirroring the rush, but we'll stick with the Hanzo because, you know, Hanzo's been working out great.
Push him down, deal with it a little bit.
Now, the change I would like Shock to see is, like, obviously the Hanzo excels more with more poke and more time to shoot arrows. Just go faster, pretty much. Faster fights.
Yeah, they can't afford
a really good shield, the same time Matrix. Good wall, but I mean, look at Choi. Choi is literally on Jungkook's head.
Yeah. On top of the Ryan's head. And that's really good
boost from Choi.
Yep.
Force him. Oh, that's really good. That is so good from Choi.
Oh my. Wow.
Choi does such a good job in that fight by getting behind the jungle shield, getting on his head, doing damage, forcing him off the high grounds.
That is awesome.
That is the Choi we all know and love, for sure.
Yep, and that's playing with confidence too. Once again, you know, you're seeing that they're not kind of playing like, oh, you know, a little bit scared. They're like, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna fly on top of Ryan's head, and I'm gonna do a bunch of and get
but good adjustment. I'd say go fast, and then they went very fast.
I agree. I think that was a very good call. Sometimes that's just the adjustment. Sometimes you're playing like a little bit too slow.
Like, yeah, we're giving them a little too much respect. You know, we're kind of playing towards their game too much. Just up the tempo is all you really need.
Yep.
Lesson learned.
Superhero with a really quick shatter, and you also have a very quick one. This can be so hard for Outlaws to hold. The window's gonna break the shields, and the Super's gonna go with a pocketed window heals and swinging. Good wall though, really good wall.
And they already got a tick, so already
wow, they got a tick, so that's good. But Houston played that really well.
They did. Still a really big slam there.
Good shatter, really good shatter. Gets Crimzo down.
Self-destruct over the top here, doesn't claim anyone. Super and Shuriken still healthy.
Happy with a huge Hanzo ult there, though. I don't know if that will change the fight here, but
that gets Violet.
Oh
if the fight 2 kills from Happy.
Oh my! And the beat was a little bit off, actually.
Oh my goodness!
I think Shock is another fight.
They have another fight if
they need to reset
quickly.
now. Oh no, they're committed in.
Self-destruct from Joy.
Oh no, it's over. There's no way.
Oh, there's 25
they have one
seconds,
more.
But
they have. I think they have one more.
They do, but I mean, look at the ult on Outlaw.
It'll be yeah. Happy is just something else, man.
And you see Happy right now too. He's just frontlining as Hanzo, like in front. Like
he's 70 on another dragon already.
Yep.
The best way to relieve that
is
pressure
crazy.
for defenders is to find instant kills. None better than Happy on the Hanzo. Another dragon strike available for him.
FP God's likely the one to touch. Maybe the Diva. Maybe the Chile touches as well.
It's always good to have 2 people trying to touch there because you know one boop can ruin
one
that
of them can
play.
boop. Yeah, I agree.
Huge E.
Nice, that's big from Troy. That's imperative because they're really down on ults there. So getting that Blizzard beat's big.
Looks like they're committed to killing the Ryan right now.
Yep, they're on him.
Big shatter, but
big shatter from Jangwoo though. Really good window. Okay, Super ends up go down, but this is a good window from Violet.
Very good.
I mean, Happy again. Happy on the kill feed. 3. He has 3.
I mean, what do you even do?
4. He has 4. Was he going for another 6K? 5K, man. Like what?
What do you even do?
What do you do? Dude, he just used Dragon again, and he's 70 on another.
It looks like this is going to be
what do you even do? Good news is, for Shock, is that 2 minutes is not a lot of time at all. It's, you know, 1-1 team fight on first point, it's just going to be crazy.
Not just get like the most valuable kills there are, but like
that was unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know what to...
Again, that one there's with plenty of assistance, but there's some solo kill action here. Striker gets absolutely belted.
I got no words, man. Like, what do you even say?
You know, I still wonder, and I just don't know how it would work in the comp. We did talk about if they can get aggressive on him, on Hanzo a little bit more. Like, what that would do. I want to see how Outlaws would react to it if they make a little bit more of an aggressive play here in this little small room on the Mega. Because they give too much space to Happy.
This is still a very winnable map, though. For 100%. I mean, I think you're very happy with the first point cap and 85% on second point.
Oh, 100%. I don't disagree.
Although the heroics come in at the end, but let's see. Does Houston have magic here on offense to get A and B with 2:10 on the clock?
It's still a big ask, despite the heroics there.
All right, here we go.
That doesn't erase the fact that San Francisco had a fantastic point A attack to get themselves in position to potentially, finish the map once more. Houston, again, they need to follow the trend they've been setting of one-upping San Francisco at every turn, and they will take a similar approach.
Again, they kind of go to the right here.
Yep.
There you go. There goes Happy on that wall. I think you see Choi and Effie got there, kind of trying to boot them off.
Yep, there we go.
This is good though from the Shock. This is what you want to see.
There it is. Big flash. They go in aggressive player. The lamps out very early. They do get walled, but they break it with the fan, the hammer. And I really like the aggression here from Shock.
I agree. And even though they did lose one player there, you know, after God, you know, we'll be back really fast.
I mean, got some of the best robots in the game. I think we'll be back in about 5 seconds.
And what they're doing right there is they're denying Happy the opportunity to get that high ground above them. They don't want him to have that. And if they get space there, Happy will die because I mean, obviously Hanzo doesn't brawl as well in these team comps. So I wouldn't doubt if they do the exact same thing again. Because to them here, if they lose this fight, they're going to build up a bunch of ults anyway. Yeah, and that's what they want going into the last fight on second. So they're going to do the same thing. See, Happy already changed up his position, and he's going to the top left window now.
Yep.
Close to a shatter. Jungkook, not so much.
So they're good for now.
Okay, now tell us Shock wants to go.
Yep.
They want to do it. Again, see, this is a lot harder for Happy.
Exactly.
He's struggling. Effie got going up and booping. It's a harder angle for him to shoot at.
Yep. And it's easier for Choi to be able to just, you know, DM his team, and in doing so, you know, Happy won't get as much value. It's a really good adjustment. This is close to last fight.
Though, from Houston.
Agreed.
Just to block this off.
There it is.
Dante gets Violet. It's going to be a sound barrier.
Violet is down.
Fight.
Violet's down. Okay, so Violet goes down, and Shock immediately takes it upon themselves to be aggressive because they don't have the Bap healing in the lamp. But that was a good counter beat and Blizzard from Houston there.
Yep. And
at this point, yeah, I think they're just gonna play for second and save ult to try to get more out from Houston.
Yeah, and I do think that Shock is they're not happy they lost that fight, but they can look at their ults and go, okay, we definitely have Mei ult advantage. We know they don't have beat. We know they have Diva ult, so we can force out. There'll be a time where they'll probably try to force out Diva ult, and during that time, and they'll go for the Mei ult.
It sucks from Violet. Violet's been getting picked first a lot, but I think it was a really good answer from Shock to just beat in aggressively and try and catch him off by surprise. So
I agree.
They did the right thing, just a hard situation.
I absolutely agree.
Great spot to win this map.
All right, here we go.
Crimzo though, and Amp Matrix is definitely on the cards. He just doesn't have a lot of time to build it up right now. 10 seconds.
Relying a lot on Jungkook here to find a shatter.
Yep.
Pressure on Jungkook.
Good wall in High Noon.
Yep. Into the corner, and here's that Blizzard from Nero. Who gets caught
good Blizzard.
Juby goes around the point now.
Can't walk through the bridge. Good Deepa bomb from Piggy though. That's gonna split the Shock.
But I
Super does die to Happy.
It looks like Shock played that pretty much as well as you could. There we go.
All right.
Maybe the smiles did work.
We got ourselves a series.
We do. Maybe the smiles did work.
Smilers?
Yo,
Any
chat,
smilers?
get those smiles in the chat again. Let's get those smiles in the chat again. All right? We're ready. We're ready.
Game 5 coming up next. We go back
Whew.
to Control, which...
back to Control, though. They're on Koth again.
They're strong. Do we see them
Back
bring in
to Koth.
hydration?
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
luckily for the Shock, I don't think you can play too much Hanzo on Koth, so...
No.
The Shock gains some...
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, like, Happy's playing whatever he wants in any map at this point.
Yeah, Happy, I mean, he can play anything, really.
There we go. There we go.
go.
There's the smiles. That's what I like to see.
So much longer against
All right,
like
listen.
Houston.
That's just one map. 2 more to go.
Everything we love about the Overwatch League is on display
2 more to go.
right now.
2 more to go. We're gonna need a lot of smiles.
I'm seeing a lot of smiles.
Rapidly approaching.
So far, I must say, the matches have been super,
I have not been bored watching a match yet. Like, I have been thoroughly entertained by everything that I've watched.
Yep.
I
think
I
that's
found
really good.
myself... I was on a Vast stream yesterday. I watched all the NA matches. I went straight to my stream, and I watched all the APAC matches. I got off. APAC was on. I immediately went to watching APAC. It's been very rare I've been able to watch so much Overwatch and not be bored. So the season has been great so far.
And that's once again why I go back to the talking about the experimental a little bit. How, like, I just hope that they look at this and they can see kind of there's a little bit of, there is variety to comps, but I also, I don't even know if, like, some of the changes, I mean, let's talk about the experimental for a minute while we wait here. Do you think some of those experimental changes will completely shift the meta? Or do you think that there isn't enough there yet to do that?
I don't think it's enough to, like, completely shift the meta, but I do have to say, out of all the changes, I think a couple were silly, but I think the BAP change that they did is actually I think it's actually a buff to the way he's played right now. Because with Baptiste, you really only play BAP in comps where you can direct hit people, right? So really, I think BAP has more healing overall in the comp. Like, he's gonna be better than he's gonna be better in Rush. He's gonna be better in Double Shield. But I don't think any of the changes will completely break what's considered the meta right now. But I'm not exactly a huge fan of what's on there right now for sure.
That's kind of where I'm looking at too. Like, I definitely think I was talking about that the other day with the stream. I'm like, wait a second, because I don't obviously play much support. I'm like, wait a second, does that mean that whoever BAP is directly healing heals for 70, and then everybody else around him gets healed for 50? And I'm thinking, in a lot of team fights, that's enough healing to begin with. The 50 HPS AOE heal.
For sure.
And and in these fights, you go, okay, get the Rein, right? So if you have now increased heal on the main target in a team fight, and then your AoE heals are still doing AoE heals, I feel like it's one of those things where there's definitely a little bit of a nerf, but it also is more of like a readjustment. But I think that's also not a bad idea, not a bad way to balance things either.
Yeah.
I think sometimes what we would see with balancing is you would just completely make a hero unplayable. And now I think
that's been Blizzard's approach, is kind of like, instead of going for outright nerfs, outright buffs, kind of readjusting the kind of like the power of the hero and kind of trying doing it that way. So that's never been their philosophy with how they balance, for sure.
No, I 100% agree with that, which is unbelievable. Someone asked if we will see more Roadhog. I was talking about that earlier. I feel like if Double Bubble is still good and Ana Brig is still a comp, do you see Hog getting a lot of playtime if Double Bubble is still as good as it is?
I'm not sure. I really don't think he'll ever go back to the point where he was played like hard like he was in the playoffs before. But I do think like if they continue to like kind of like steadily ramp up his damage, he could be seen on like some maps, certainly some maps where it's favorable.
It actually makes me think, maybe the change was designed just to make Hog a little bit more viable on ladder, and hoping that it does. And then they're like, we're not really worried about making it, viable for a lot of like matches, but we want to make Hog. Hog's one of those, those heroes you can go on, you might hit the flex Q button, and you're like, where do I go here? And you go Hog, and right now you do that, and obviously isn't as good, but now Hog has a little bit more value.
Yeah. Strike obviously last year, but Nero and FD got new to this, right? It's a little bit different for them. Next map
I want to see a map 6. I want to see our first map 6 of the season.
I do too, and obviously I want to see Shock get that win. So what is the tiebreaker map? How does that even work? Obviously we're getting ahead of ourselves.
I think it's. I actually don't remember. I don't think when I played I ever went into a map 6, but I think it's an extra cost. I could be wrong, but I think it's an extra cost.
So, question: what is your worst cost map?
My worst Koth map.
Yeah.
Probably Ilios.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like I struggle on Ilios. I'm not. Generally the what's the map called? The Lighthouse map. For whatever reason, I can't get my head around that map, but I feel like I never played that well map.
It's funny. I was actually just talking about that on stream yesterday. How I feel like on Lighthouse, I have no idea what to do. I'm like, do I go on the high ground here? Do I go to the middle? Do I go to point? If I go to point, what
that's
do
how I feel. Right? Yeah. I feel a little lost sometimes.
I think Oasis used to be my worst map and has now become one of my best costs. Although I'm terrible at University. No idea how.
Oh yeah, the kind of like the more Zarya Rush favored map. With the robots and books and stuff. Yeah.
No idea how.
An absolute lie.
But every other two I'm fine on. But that one I'm just awful at. I don't know why.
That is a lie.
Yeah, I try and make D.Va work on that map, and usually I just get beamed down by Zarya on University. So I usually just off the Zarya myself and just sit in that little mini room on the side.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I go there and just die immediately. So it works.
Works great.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Once again, Shock is staying with the same team comp. Obviously, it looks like Houston is going to be going with Sombra. We're going to be getting Dante Sombra on Oasis.
So if Dante goes Sombra, I think they're expecting something different. I don't know. Maybe actually I kind of see it because Mei's not that great on this map because it's not a great Mei map. There's not a lot of wall spots. So maybe he just thinks Sombra is just better. Just more comfortable on the Sombra here.
And obviously people consider Dante Sombra pretty much one of the best in the world.
I mean Dante is definitely one of the best Sombras in the game for sure.
So we'll see what happens here. Maybe their idea is to hack maybe D.Va or something like that and have really good engages or Mei and then just go in.
So far in San Francisco, they sort of take points.
So this is gonna lie a lot on. It's gonna fall a lot on Choi soldiers to kind of deny the Sombra's invis where he wants to play angles, but really good engage from Shock just going in on Happy there. I think they've definitely identified what's been making them lose with Happy. I think they've definitely identified the issue.
And one reason why that fight, and this kind of goes back to Blizzard World a little bit. One reason why that fight didn't go that well for Outlaws is that Shock, whenever they get into the situation where they have the part of the map they want, they force you to take this engage that you basically need like 2 speed boosts to get there. Like, they play so far back that then they engage on you when you finally make that, when you run out of your cooldowns.
Yep.
Yeah, they're playing with more aggression now too. You can tell.
Yep, look at them.
They were told play aggressive.
Oh, they're feeling really good. Yeah, I mean,
yep.
Houston's having a hard time walking out of the spawn doors at the moment.
100%.
Really, nothing he can do.
And
Happy with the late kill, late stagger.
And one thing with Violet is, Violet probably recognizes that Violet was getting, Violet's like, I'm getting picked off early. Violet's is just gonna, you're gonna see a different level.
Violet's gonna flip the switch for sure. Violet has that switch, and he can definitely flip it.
And so far,
again, look at this aggression.
Yep.
They wanted to go left side, spawn door, window. They go right side, high noon.
You know why this is really smart by them too? When Sombra's in the team comp, there's a lot less like damage output coming, so they feel comfortable just taking really fast fights.
Oh yeah, fast fights definitely favor them, especially with the Mei.
So they were able to hack the Mei. So
so they know he has. Okay, that's really good. So they can't counter wall. They don't have the Blizzard. Good EMP. It catches 4.
This is a really good disengage though.
It did not hit FD guys. They do have the speed, and they are able to speed back away from the EMP.
Okay.
But it looks like a big shatter that wasn't on the screen. A big slam. Big plan from Jangwoo.
I guess if we look at it, though, Shock's pretty happy with that. They got EMP out. They disengaged well and bought an extra 15-16% if they, if they didn't team wipe right away. So that's a good fight.
Now the goal for Shock here is to get back into fights as soon as possible, so Dante's not able to build another EMP. So I assume they'll go as quick as possible. Yep, they're really pushing the tempo here. Nice, really good wall. Oh, that's a perfect wall.
That was just great play.
No understatement. That was a perfect wall.
And they didn't even think about they didn't think about what they wanted to do there. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. We'll get back. We'll take a fight on them. And right now, I mean,
and they got the beat out too. Just window for beat. That's huge for Shock's ult economy. They have 5 ults going into this.
Yeah, except for window, but that's going to be fine because they have a bunch of ults to go with it.
Pretty much dead as the Outlaws have one more fight to try and get to the point.
It's go time now. Dante does not have any.
Dante's probably going to end up touching the point here out of stealth, looking for a hack. So he does get the hack on FD God. There's no beat, no speed. But I'm not sure it matters given how many ults that Shock has.
Actually,
I think Choi.
What the heck?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on, but they get a Choi and FD God. No beat for the Shock.
This is crazy.
Okay, Striker does find Happy though. He wins the 1v1.
This is crazy.
Dante has EMP though. Will FD God get back in time to find a way to beat this?
Really good beat. Yep.
So good from FD God.
Really good beat.
Wow. FD God will find a way to roll out me back as soon as possible. And
I thought that was. I actually thought Outlaws were going to win that for a while because they got those early 2 picks.
Those early 2 picks were crucial.
But Shock actually
good recovery. Yeah.
Really smart. That was, and that's good. You know, Shock's going. You know what? Let's go. Let's go. I don't think they're gonna run that same comp now. I think they're gonna run the McCree May.
I do think they'll go May after this. Yeah.
Once again, I never. You can never know the exact reason why teams don't team comp sometimes. My guess is they probably ran Sombra on that map and had a lot of success. And they didn't feel comfortable running May McCree on it. Maybe it just didn't go that well, so they probably. And once again, when you have one of the best Sombras in the world, you know why not? And Shock seemed prepared. They played far back, and now we go to this map. So we'll see.
We'll see. Both teams off the TP this time. I forgot to mention last time, but Shock ended up not TPing on the last map, but here they end up TPing, which I think is important because getting that high ground as soon as possible is very important.
Yeah, I love those.
Have you seen who's just booping each other? Yeah.
Oh, and Happy again.
Oh, poor FD God, because he wants a wall right there. He wants to help control the high ground, but he just gets punished for it.
And he probably sees Juby doing the same thing and going,
yeah.
What?
Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
On another level.
But it's still a 6v6 again. They're right back in the fight.
Yep.
Jungkook takes a lot of damage every time he swings.
It's one of those fights where I don't really know where it's...
Okay, so Shock's lamp does get forced out early. Ooh, Juby. Ooh, that was very close from Juby. But Juby's in a good spot now to look for boobs.
Wow.
The aggression from Shock is unreal at the moment. This is like... They're setting a blistering pace in fights.
Let's go. It was
actually good that Choi died there.
Yeah.
To reset his mech. That was actually good from him.
Yep. I've seen more people smile in the chat. We like that. Where we've been smiling trying to help them win. Any smilers? And another thing I like there too was they didn't even give them the point. They could have given them the point there and played it safe.
Whoa! Look at this spot from Striker. They walled him
with
up
Maywall. Oh my god.
Oh.
I have never seen this.
KSP, Kai, used to do this a lot in our team. I also thought he did on Ash. He would coach gun up there, and I always thought it was the funny. Oh, the flash shatter.
That is so
it's
good.
Beautiful. It's a work of art.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, that's so
I
great.
love that. Do they do it again? Do they do it again? Probably not.
They'll never expect it twice. I do that in my rank game, but I'll sit in a weird spot. I'm like, surely they won't expect it twice.
I do it in my rank game, and they see it the first time. What the hell?
That is a filthy spot.
Here we go.
He was like, there's something up about this, and as soon as he looked up, he saw Striker, the flashbang came down.
Outlaws is probably going to opt a high noon here early, I would assume, up here from main.
Yep,
there it is.
Peppering Piggy. We need to be careful now. Okay, nice disengage there from
good Blizzard.
Very
little shallow on the Blizzard, but
they do. Shock has window. They're gonna window. Yeah.
Yep.
If they survive this ult, it's gonna be really good for them. What a boop.
Okay, so nice boop. Yeah, that's a really good boop from Juby.
I do think Shock might try to turn this around though with their own Diva Bomb, but I
do think they will try to win this. Probably pop a high noon here.
I think they're okay with that Diva Bomb. They got BAP. They got BAP, but it looks like
Choi does die before he gets back in suit, but that's a good kill on the BAP. Ooh, Striker with good shots on a Dante. Forces out B. After you guys back, they're only down 1.
It seems like one of those fights where Shock is okay with losing this now. They got the percentage to a good spot, and now it's just about having a solid retake. I think they're happy with that, and that's what they're doing. Yep.
They'll probably get around 90, 92, 93.
Looks like 99.
Oh, 99. They'll go 99 with the Diva for sure.
So I know a lot of teams did this when they scrim. What is the exact percentage you want right there on this map? Like that you feel comfortable? It's like, what was it, 92? 93?
Yeah, generally. I'd say like 90, 90, 93 probably.
That sounds about
93.
right. Basically, you feel like they don't have a really good team fight.
San Francisco.
Okay.
Anything over 90.
Yeah.
Really.
There's some maps where it's, like, I think it was like 89% too, where it was just
Yeah.
like something.
Series of
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Here we go.
All right.
Okay, again, probably start with the high noon to force him off the high ground. There it is.
Once again, one thing we're noticing is Shock is setting the tone every fight.
Yep.
They avoid the Deadeye. Now it's Happy's turn to try and find some happy little skulls. He gets hit.
They're going to
once.
disrespect the high noon with the beat. They're going to run in. Wow. Okay, Nero goes down.
Starting to get into gear.
They were aggressive, but it forced out a Shatter, forced out High Noon, forced out Blizzard, so not a total loss for the Shock.
Yep.
But it was a good answer from the Outlaws for sure.
Well, yeah, I think sometimes, you know, in Overwatch, you never want to lose a team fight, but sometimes there are good team fights to lose. And that's one of them where you go, okay, well, we got some ults out, we're going to have Mail. Obviously, they do have Window, so I imagine Houston will pop Window here, but with the way Shock's been playing, they'll pop it first. Or
Yep, they're definitely going to be going first.
at least they're going to try
Super
it
touching
too.
the point.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, yep.
I would not be surprised to see the Diva and the Lucio for boots here on the high ground.
I
Super melts with the window. He is absolutely evaporated there.
Yep, and they disengage. Wow.
All right,
They did
gonna
keep
come down to the
Mail.
last fight.
They did keep Mail, but they're gonna have no support else. It looks like Outlaws will have the beat advantage right now.
Yep.
Their own Deadeye, specifically
Outlaws in a good spot.
barrier, which is huge because
In a
now
very
I would
good
like to see Shock find a way to get more of the backline off the high ground there. Maybe whether that be FD God going from behind for boops, maybe Choi using his boosters for boops.
No, I agree. I definitely think that they're giving them too much space on the high ground, and I think they recognize that now. Or at least the way they're playing a little bit. They stopped going down mid.
This is where the fight happens now. The Shock.
But Outlaws bought enough time to get their own Mail.
They're just gonna get the point back
Okay,
now.
so
It's
Happy's gonna have high noon
99.
here.
Happy has the Deadeye ready. He goes forward. Flash immediately in the background. It'll be a May wall.
Good May wall
Good
with
wall.
good speed.
Good wall from
right
Nero.
here.
Still look
Yep.
anyway.
All right, really good DM.
Up the play to
by
eat
Choi.
this. Yep, nice.
Wow.
Denied his window. FD God goes down.
I don't know what's gonna happen here. This is gonna be one of those fights
Blizzard,
that.
though. Oh. Bombos on top from Piggy.
Oh wow.
Oh, Super desperately needs help. Super's definitely gonna get frozen. He's walled off. It's looking good for Houston.
It is, and they did pop window.
Shock has no ults, absolutely nothing. Piggy's at a suit.
Wow. But their window's about to be out, and they got to pick on Piggy.
There, dude, Shock is just staining.
That was
Choi is
crazy.
doing,
What?
Choi is doing such. Oh, that is so good from Choi. Choi shifted in, took all the aggro, got DMAG, and had his bomb. That was so good.
Yeah, did you, one thing that you won't even notice there, and obviously we play a lot of Diva. Remember when, like, I think what Striker was backing away there after the play, and you saw Choi come over the wall and get DMAG'd?
Yeah.
Choi took so much, like, aggro from them that they forgot about him there. And he was actually able to survive and come back later into the fight and win.
Even in the fights,
That was crazy.
It looks like it's
That was
gonna go
nuts.
well for the Outlaws. They
Ooh, let's get some
We have a
smiles in the
series
chat.
map.
Let's go.
Any smilers?
Let's go. See? Ever since we started doing smiles, let's get some smiles in the chat going to this last map right now. Let's go. I want to see those smiles. I want to see those smiles until the next map at this point.
That is going to be
All right?
huge.
And if you get timed out because the bot has like a spam thing, well then you know what?
Sweep opportunity if I've ever seen one with a
smile.
door in map number 3. It couldn't have been any
Just smile.
I don't know how it works. I don't
have
have.
to go anywhere.
Map
Well,
six.
you see, we've got a game to play. We'll be back.
That was a great play. And once again, I love the lack of there isn't much downtime in between these maps. Like we're going right into the action. We're not going into like we're waiting 20 minutes for the next map. We're going right into it.
America's
go.
largest and fastest 5G network.
Sorry,
Hyped.
I'm being a little bit.
Set
I'm a little
your
bit
sights
biased
I
right
know,
now.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I'm a little bit biased, okay? You know. All right, that was great play. That was unbelievable. We have a match. We said at the beginning we're like 3-0.
I saw Shock play 2 days ago, and I was, man, Shock looked like the Shock of old. This looks like a very dominant roster. I was like,
Yep.
I was expecting to come out swinging, but Houston was great right at the start, and then, I mean, Shock is now showing their, their form.
100% agree. And you also got to remember, and we can talk about that a little bit too. Shock does have a couple new players come onto the team, and sometimes, where it's one of those things where when you get new players in your team, you expect them to be in the same spot as like last season's roster. You'll expect somebody to be in that same spot, and sometimes it takes a few matches. Because in scrims can be different sometimes, right? Scrims are more about going, okay, we want to do this strategically, we want to do that, and sometimes when you get into match time, your decision making and what you're doing can change a little bit because it's match time. So sometimes, you know, players need to develop that experience even more, especially when you go onto a team like Shock, who's been, you know, winning for a while, and you have to kind of get used to the play style, the aggression. Like, hey, we just lost a team fight, and rather than sit there and go, oh, we should just do this, never mind, and you take it slow. Shock's like, all right, we're all dead. Let's go, and they're right back into the fight again.
I mean, that's the mark of like a champion, right? Like these guys are down 2-0 in the they're down 0-2 in the series, right? And they come right back and we're like, all right, well, we're not gonna back away. We're not gonna back down. We're just gonna be more aggressive. We're gonna push even harder. You know, now that we're losing, like obviously we're not pushing hard enough. So that's very hard for a lot of teams to kind of like mentally process and have the whole team buy into being more aggressive. But I mean, it's your 2-time champion, so
yeah, they're you know, it's either way, it's so good to see like just competitive matches, and I just. That to me is what I always say, even in ranked, when I play ranked, because obviously I don't stream anymore or anything like that. When I play ranked, you know, I just like close matches. Win or lose, if you have close matches, that's Overwatch.
I say the same thing to my stream. Like I do not care to win or lose. That does not bother me. But when we're getting rolled or I'm rolling, it's just not as fun. When the match is close, when the match is intense, and you have people calming and sweating, you can hear how bad people want to win. Like that's what Overwatch is to me. It's not the result really. It's the process, and you know. It's not so much the outcome.
Exactly. You know, obviously we all play to win, but when you play,
obviously we like to win.
When you play a competitive match, and like, and you know, obviously a lot of it, you know, a lot of people play ranked. It's like, you know, even if you roll, sometimes you're like, well, that was fun, I won, but then you play that 99% to 99% game, and then you pop off in that last second.
Your adrenaline's pumping.
That's what Overwatch is about. And we're seeing that right now. I mean, that last fight right there was just what?
That was crazy. Shock had no business winning, but
and keep in mind,
hold it out.
Look at that alive. Look at that score. That one map where they had a day tied. That could be the difference maker right here. I mean, it really is. It's the last map. It already is the difference maker. You know,
map 6. First map 6 of the season.
Let's go.
But I think is it the first? Actually, I think it's the second. No, it's the first. It's definitely the first.
I think it's the first. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. No, because I remember it was the Outlaws Fuel match that went 3-2, right?
Yeah, but did they go map 6?
No, I'm pretty sure that was 2-2.
Okay, so this is the first map 6 then. Okay, so they're back. They're back with the Smurf, Glister, Twilight, but instead of Violet on DPS.
Oh wait, actually, we haven't seen this before.
It's Violet, Twilight in. With Striker.
Oh man, I don't think we've seen this.
He comes in here for the final map of the series on Havana.
All right, well, so for anybody wondering on some of the subs here, we do have we have Twilight and Violet on support. We have Glister and Striker on DPS, and we have Smurf and Choi on tank. So more than likely, we're going to get a double bubble comp, which I'm curious to see. Havana. Oh, so it's an escort map.
Oh, okay. I did not know it would be an escort. So I wonder what determines what the next map's going to be. So actually, I actually think this is going to be a double shield, double sniper.
Oh, okay.
From now that I'm looking at the roster and now I see the map, because you're probably gonna want the BAP Zen from Violet and Twilight with the potential to go BAP Brig, and then you'll have Smurf on the Orisa. Smurf's the better Orisa between him and Super.
Okay. I'll go into the last map chat. Remember that if you do like the co-stream, make sure to sub to the Shock YouTube. Follow Shock.
Leave it a like. Leave it a like.
Yep. Like the video too, and obviously you know, follow them on Twitter and Instagram at SFShock. And they just announced the limited time jerseys they have coming out, so make sure to do that. And remember, this would just be a good belated birthday present for Violet. Violet, just had their birthday.
A reverse sweep for his birthday. That'd be nice.
Yeah. You know, well, let's see what happens.
But the Outlaws, make no
here we go.
mistake,
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get smiles in the chat for this map right here. We did it on the last 2 maps. They won. Let's see if we can make it 3 in a row. Let's go.
Any smilers?
Any smilers?
We need a lot of smilers here for the map 6 energy. A lot of smiles.
Let's go. Oh, and we got our favorite team comp. You love to see double shield.
Hey, BAP Brig. You know we all love BAP Brig.
Yeah. And this makes sense as to why they went with this comp.
Yep. Because they'll have now if they want to go the Zen, they'll have the flexibility that you wouldn't have after you got to go Zen in Twilight's position. So
yep, this is what you like to see. This is what you like to see. I'm ready. And I'm imagining Outlaws will also go with double shield. I don't think Piggy's gonna roll out on ball here. And in fact, we did see Piggy go Sigma on a map where you don't even run Sigma right now. So
yeah, Piggy's Sigma is probably his most well-known hero. So.
And Piggy's been playing extremely well. So
he's been playing great. So
yeah. All right, here we go. Yeah, I see Piggy on ladder a lot.
Patient.
Yeah, he's a grinder.
In the morning too, especially. A couple hours.
Happy though, a little bit
Yeah, I
different, a
think
little bit more
Houston's kind of
bombastic,
more of like
definitely more
a.
aggressive. Both these teams
They usually get on pretty early, like in the office. So.
Oh yeah, no, I had a couple of them. They were online today at like 9 a.m. in ranked because I was up early.
Yeah.
Too. I'm like, oh
Grinders.
wow.
Yeah.
I respect it.
See if he can work that out. If he works his frustrations out on the out.
All right, double shield time. So obviously double shield here, you don't really play too close. Although Choi is playing the off angle over here, so it looks like they're committed to playing.
He's playing with the Brig too for support. So him and Brig could kind of play together.
Having a
there.
little bit of lag on my stream for a second here.
Okay.
So I'll let you know. It's like randomly lagging. Sorry for the.
Why
Why
was
is
the
it?
same way? My internet was fine and my stream was lagging. So
Yeah.
maybe it's just the player. I'm not sure.
It might be the player at this point. All right, one second on the lag here. I'm sorry. Let me know how it keeps going here. I'll let you know when it settles down. So.
They're gonna play this calm.
What are you at on time right now?
I'm at 2:55.
Me too. Okay, so it caught up and I think we're good.
Okay, cool. So like, Shock's playing the Brig version of this comp, and what Shock wants to do more is kind of brawl into Outlaws composition, whereas Outlaws wants to play far away, play off the Zenyatta spam, and play the Brig shields and play kind of further away there.
So if you look at this setup, it's actually kind of like it's almost like a scary setup. You look at it, you're like, what the heck? Like, look at the off angle they're playing over there. Like,
it's very scary for the Sigma because they get very easily get rushed.
I wonder if they're gonna use Zenel to go for him.
Very early.
This is like a.
Nothing really else used.
It's crazy. I haven't really seen much of this off angle.
No, I mean, it was just constant pressure from the high
Yeah,
ground
I mean,
and also
I've seen it from some, but the extent of which they're holding that angle is kind of crazy.
Like,
I
they're
haven't
committed
seen
to
it.
it. Yeah.
I mean, they're still like on their side of the map. So it looks like Houston is gonna opt to turn around and kind of deal with it because Choi and Twilight end up dying there.
I feel like they have to at that point. Like, you can't. If you leave them there, they're just gonna roll.
Smurf went to go help, so he is a little overextended, dies as well.
Like, I feel like that's the downside of the strat is that if that happens. But I mean, they got 2 minutes off the clock already. You take that any day of the week on this map.
That's for a recompose here, I think. So.
Yep. What do they have alt-wise here? They do have Bongo. It looks like
really big.
What a pick!
That is an insane pick from Glister.
And Dante was 1 HP.
Oh, Discord orb for this hold. That's gonna be really rough for Houston. And they have a Bongo down in a good spot.
They did get the Bongo. No, they got the lamp. Sorry.
They got that lamp.
The
The
Bongo's
Bongo's still
down.
down.
Yep. That's a
Pulled
really good
Siggy.
lamp. I mean, a really good
I
Bongo.
said pulled Siggy. He's playing Siggy. His name is Piggy.
There you go.
Siggy. Good flush from Siggy.
You and I are popping off right now. I'm like, yeah, they got the. Wow.
That is a Glister carry for sure.
Oh my!
Not having the Zenyatta there for the hold, no Discord orb was so crucial for Shock.
And what's crazy about this map is we've talked about how good Happy's Widow is.
Yeah.
So far.
Glister, do not be understated. Glister also has a very good Widow. I think a lot of people who are well versed in the league.
Yep.
London wasn't that great last year. London as a team, but Glister, do not underrate Glister. Glister was by far and away their best player on that team. So Glister has potential to be a very good player for the Shock this year.
I just love that it's coming down to that. You know, it's like you know this is a Widow map. You know it's very double shield, and you love to see it.
Yeah. Oh, really good shot from Striker.
This is. I think Outlaws have to back out. They can't just go. They can't engage this fight without Dante.
They need the backline presence of Dante.
And they're gonna have walls till. Looks like both Widows popped walls, so this is gonna come down to. I wonder if they're gonna go for a pull Hanzo play. Because they're gonna come to that doorway, they pull Hanzo.
They rallied early. Just to make sure they get the armor on everybody, and it's hard for the Houston to walk in.
There it is.
There's the Dragon inside. It forces lamp. Piggy dies.
Glister with another pick. Oh my god.
This is way too hard. This is
Oh
way
my
too hard
god.
for Houston Outlaws. Oh, Happy gets a pick on Choi.
You love to see it.
Can Juby touch? Wait, Happy?
Wait.
Happy got 3. Piggy's back on ball.
Piggy's already low though. Really, really good damage right away. And that was a really smart play by Smurf to kind of not.
Oh, it's not over yet.
Oh my god.
Striker dies.
Big shot here. Nice. They're gonna go on Zen.
Oh, they don't touch. Oh, C9.
All right, chat. Let's get those smiles in the chat right now. Once again, they still have to attack here. Let's get the smiles. Let's go.
We need more. We need smilers.
Any smilers? Wow.
Oh man, this series is crazy.
The thing is like I'm not even going. Wow, it's over because so much crazy stuff has happened that
Houston could do the same.
Yeah, exactly. But Glister popped right there, and you don't even notice it, but Striker was getting like these like super important picks that gave like, because basically like Dante's going for map control there, right? And as you know, as like Tracer, it's all about getting map control and getting good position, and every time Striker was getting huge picks, and that allowed Glister just to pop off in the back.
Striker's Hanzo is very good. Like people know him. People know him for his Tracer, but he is also very good at Widow. He's also very good at Kree, very good at Hanzo. Not just a Tracer one trick. Striker is just a very good player in general.
Yeah, I remember I mentioned how playing against Striker's Tracer is just it's something else.
Suffocating. It is suffocating.
The best way to explain it, you know how like you have the Tracers that have really good movement?
Yeah.
And they have pretty good aim, but it's okay, right?
Yeah.
Then you have the Tracers with really good aim, but not as good movement.
Yeah.
Striker he'll use 3 blinks in one clip you, and you don't even. You're
he
like,
is the top. Huh? He is top tier at both.
Yeah, you're like, what?
He is the best at both. It is.
Yep.
It is so hard to play against this Tracer.
Yep. All right, here we go.
Map 6, last round. Any smiles? We need a lot of smiles for this last map.
We're gonna need some smiles, and it looks like I'm getting a tad bit of lag again, so I think we'll be fine. But you know, keep rolling with it, and we'll.
Okay, so Houston is on the rush, holding close.
Yep. Which I wonder if Shock will just counter with rush after.
They rolled out on. They rolled out on some weird comp. They rolled out on Ryan, Orisa, Bath, Anna.
Okay.
May Sim. They're still playing it.
The thing is, I get the lag, but then
I'm also lagging.
Yeah. Oh, so this has got to be on the stream then. I mean, on that end.
I want to try and pull up the Overwatch League so I can keep up with the stream at least.
Might be a little bit of.
Oh, I'm back. I'm hit live.
Yeah, I think I'm good. What are you at on the timer?
I'm at 320. 320.
Yeah,
319.
I'm a couple seconds ahead, but I don't think I can pause it live. So we're just gonna roll with this, and I will. We'll be good. We'll be good.
If you're Houston, you need
Come
to
on.
get like an early pick.
I think they're gonna. Yeah, they did. So Shock has switched to rush now. They are looking like they're gonna keep Nano though. They're not going. They're not going Lucio.
Yeah. It's very interesting because they don't have their Lucio player in. They have nobody really who plays Lucio.
Exactly.
There, so.
Which may be why Outlaws went that, but I mean, really, really good play here. But one thing about holding close on this map specifically is it essentially creates 3 team fights.
Yep.
You have one at spawn. Yep.
You'll get the one maybe in like another 20 seconds here, like right where the high ground is in front of where Shock is now. You get a fight around there, and then another one towards the end of the first point cap.
Which is why it's.
But the cart didn't get all the way there, so this might only be 2. This might only
very
be
true.
For,
yeah, it isn't quite
Outlaws.
there. Yeah,
Yep.
I agree.
Could be huge, like a nano shatter.
Okay, so Striker's on May. And keep in mind, this is also a different McCree May combination run.
This is a different. Yep, this is Glister on the Kree.
Yep.
Oh, they subbed Juby. Oh, someone woke him up though.
They do have Nano. Well, if I was in that game, that would be
No
me.
speed though. No speed. Oh, it doesn't matter. Smurf takes out 2. And let me say that Smurf is also a very good Reinhardt.
Oh yeah.
Super is the best Reinhardt in the game, but Smurf also has a very good Reinhardt.
And Super has a good Winston. They can flex into those heroes if they need to if something changes.
And what's also great is that they have such a great relationship, and I think it's very rare for people who are competing for playtime to have such good, such a good working relationship. Not only that, but outside of work.
They just want to see each other do well, and that's the best part. When you're in a
Choi, love on the stock.
Yeah.
Dante has Blizzard. He freezes Choi. He does get the freeze.
Multiple in the freeze, but it looks like.
But there's an Anna Bap. There's a lot of healing. It's gonna be very hard to finish kills.
This is a really close fight. Violet is down first again.
But Jongu does die. They have no Reinhardt. They do have an Anna, so they still have a lot of healing here. It's not like they're completely out.
If I'm Shock, I'm going to reset this really fast.
Depends. No, Glister cannot pull off any miracles. Choi is gonna try and die.
Okay, that was.
This is gonna come down to the wire.
And I'm gonna be honest. Look at Outlaws. Look at their ults.
Oh man. And they're sticking with the Bap Anna because they don't have a Lucio player.
You know what might happen here though? Choi might have a really good ult.
This is a really good spot for a bomb. This is very open. If there's no cooldown, this is a good spot for it.
They got high noon out.
Oh no! Can work miracles here. He's out of suit. No bomb.
Yep.
That is big. Not having bomb here.
And they're gonna have a window here. I mean, even if they use Nano, they're gonna be at a window. Shock just needs to reset the fight.
What? They use Nano. Oh, Violet gets sniped! Oh no! They're gonna have a soft reset.
Yep.
This is last fight. Oh my god, it's gonna come down to the wire.
They are gonna be able to tap point. But they have Mail.
Yeah, they definitely should be able to touch. They'll have Mail coming up from Striker.
But they have Diva Bomb too, which is. Oh.
They have one fight to repeat the reverse sweep. Going to be 2 blizzards in the fight. I'm looking at those right now. Let's see how they're employed. May the better team win. Jungkook's hit with a body grenade early. That's a very early.
Jungkook's anti?
As well.
Forces out lamp very
they
early.
got lamp out early.
Very early.
Getting thrown down.
He's going for a flank shatter.
Oh,
Oh, it's a big shatter. Oh my god.
have done it. We thought they'd be kissing the ring, but they forced the
it's
Kings
over.
to bend the knee.
Oh,
The plucky
my.
upstarts have
Oh,
done
that's
it.
a
In the final
heartbreaker.
moments, the Outlaws reign
And that's why you don't
supreme.
call a series too early.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like it was going to be all
Houston did the
Wow.
fuller hold.
And what was crazy about that is
the double sniper.
they couldn't go Lucio. They didn't go Lucio. They
Yeah.
even though that was like a big switch there at the end, they couldn't go. Wow.
The self-destruct is actually over the top at that
Feels
moment
bad.
of time. And he
Feels
just turns
bad,
the
man.
corner,
Feels-
lands a
feels
perfect
bad.
shatter. As Houston had the top there at the
Well,
end
chat. I
to
mean,
win
at least it was a very good game.
It
And
was a very good game.
I want to keep pointing out that
they are crushed. They threw everything.
you know
at this
Outlaws
series.
has made a lot of
What
improvements
way
and they're a
to
very good
dethrone
team.
The Kings of old here in the Overwatch League. It's a 2-0
Yeah,
lead.
I mean,
First, the
obviously, I
Outlaws,
mean,
they overcome
they've shown
their
so many
long
different
time
looks. They've
rival.
adjusted so much. They've
Yeah.
played so many different heroes on so many different maps.
Rivalry. A victory
Man.
against our defending champs
Regardless,
in the
like
Overwatch
everyone here is
League.
a Shock fan,
Stunning
obviously, but like
Yeah.
that is like almost a
world.
timeless
And
classic
San
type of
Francisco
series.
now
That
have
was
a
so
lot
back
to
and
go back to
forth.
the drawing
Map
board with,
6.
but I guarantee you
Wow.
Yeah, and we know Shock. Shock's the type of team to
Oh,
you know,
that is.
they'll make it to
I mean, you
playoffs
see
and they'll see
Striker,
Houston to
just
playoffs.
how-
They'll be like,
Hey, let's just remember, Shock
this
has
series
never been
and
number
to
1 in the
lose,
regular season.
Hmm?
especially
They've never
after, you know, they
ended
come
number
back
1 in the regular season. They've always kind of had their
just
stumbles in the
so
regular
quickly.
season.
Yep.
I mean,
So-
look
They
like they're
start
gonna
off
ride
with,
through,
you know,
some touches at
they
the
go
end,
into
keep it
matches and they start to.
going.
They're one of the
Then
best
start to go
adjustment
Houston's
teams, right?
way.
It's like you know they're
This
gonna
is
they're gonna
one
you know
that's
feel bad about that
stink
match
with the
right now,
shot,
but
a lot like
they have I
last
think
season,
2
right,
weeks till the
where
next
they had
match.
some, you know, losses
Yeah.
early on. It didn't look like the shot.
They have time. They have
Yeah.
time to
These are-
get back in the garage, kind
Yeah.
of tool things up, and
You know,
kind
having
of get some
games like
adjustments.
this.
So
They will
I
do.
wouldn't be too worried about it.
I mean,
They will
the
do,
Shock pulled out of the playoffs,
they
you
will,
know, in a huge
they will
way,
definitely,
back in, what, 2019, I think it was,
they'll
and
bounce
then just
back.
they fight
They'll
their
bounce
way
back.
through. They've always known to do it.
So it wasn't quite
What
you
a
know
coming of age.
the result that we were hoping for, but
This week,
let's be honest, that was some good Overwatch, and when we can watch good Overwatch, you know that's the best.
Let's be thankful. I mean, that was a really good match. Just watching fun and interactive and not one-sided stumps like other
Yep.
years. Overwatch, it's great. Like almost all the games so far have been super close, super fun, super exciting. So
Yep, I agree. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us, McGravy, for this match.
thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun.
Yo,
I
it was.
had a good time.
It's really cool because we get to like being able to watch it and like kind of like just it's just really cool to be able to have a good time with
Kind
it.
of
It was-
bounce like instead of just watching by yourself, kind of bouncing your ideas and thoughts about the match off somebody back and forth is it's fun. So
Yep, I agree. If you have any shout outs you want to do with your stuff, I'm sure you're able to do that. I do want to
just the simple stuff, you know, with the Twitter, you know, McGravy. I think I'm McGravy on everything. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, you know, all that good stuff, that'd be fantastic.
There you go. Definitely do that. Obviously, if you have not, do me a favor and sub to the Shock YouTube, SF Shock Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, that's pretty much where they're at with that. And make sure to check out the new merch at sfs.gg/kits. And yeah, outside of that, I think that's gonna end up ending this. I hope y'all had an amazing time here. We will be back. I don't know what the next date is. The next Shock match we will be back with. I don't even know. I mean, we'll see. Thank you so much, McGravy, for joining me. That was awesome. It was fun to do it. It was fun to be able to do this. With that being said, I think we're gonna hop off. And I hope everybody in the chat has a wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever you're from. I guess I'm EMONGG. This is McGravy, and we'll see everybody later.
We're out of here. See you guys.
Bye bye.